Yo, we live? Hello, Snap. What's up, man? You know, it takes me a second to set up. It takes me a while to set up. Got to get the thumbnail, make the thumbnail, set up the lights, backdrop, mic. It take a second. We donate the Apple Watch so you can be on. I need to get an Apple Watch. But yeah, it takes a second to. I wasn't telling you to donate. I had to post that so I can pin it to the top. But yeah, that's the only way I can pin that. Yeah, it just takes a while. Gotta make some tea. Gotta have some tea. That's good. Josiah, I was talking about you yesterday because there's another Josiah. Shout out to Carol and Jer. They got their own Josiah. Yeah, I got the tea. That's how I get through the stream. I need that tea. But yeah, it takes a while to set up, get the light right, clean the lens off, make sure all the stories. I got a lot of tabs today. Hopefully we knock some out. LL Snap says, I can't complain, man. I have to have my drink of choice too. I like sweet tea with lemonade. You Southern now, man. You Southern now. They don't drink that in Cuba, do they? Enjoy it, man. That sweet tea, a little bit of lemonade, you good. We got some good stories. I put Dana White on there, but we mostly going to be talking about UFC BJJ. LL Snap says, I knocked someone out yesterday in the gym. God, dog. Why are you knocking people out, man? LL Snap. Why are you knocking people out? Was it a new guy? You knocked the new guy out, man? Come on. Yeah, we're going to talk about UFC BJJ, Kokorian, a little bit of Kokorian, and some random stuff today. Random stuff. Everybody been good in jiu-jitsu, so nobody got in trouble. Dorothy Slippers, what's up? He says, have you ever talked about your experience at Lloyd Irvin's? I haven't really. Why don't you ask Mushmaster about him, about his experience first? I mean, I don't really talk about anything. I don't talk about training at Alliance. I don't talk about training at Lloyd Irvin's. I'll talk about training nowhere. And all that stuff is old too, over 10 years. LL Snap says he was from the 10th planet. I did a world a favor. Oh no. Eddie Bravo gonna come after you now, bro. I ain't never seen a 10th planet person strike though. Well, I guess Tony Ferguson and some of those guys. That's some good tea. LL Snap said, I don't care. Man, Cuba, man. My Cubans, man. They wild. My Cubans out there, man. I just kind of like to talk a little bit before I get into the stories, man. Chill for a little bit. I ain't no rush. You guys ain't in no rush either. Dorothy Slipper says, was our boy Josh Saunders at Lloyd's? You know what? He looks familiar. He really does look familiar. And you know what? I remember hearing a story about somebody that got injured, hurt his neck at Lloyd's. That might be him. Is that him? I don't know if I met him before. Maybe I did meet him before. You know what? I might have met him before. I remember hearing a story of someone that hurt their neck, and then, Lloyd was not the most understanding and said, well, you had a good run. That might have been him. That might be him. Yeah. LL Snap says it wasn't a street fight. Okay, that's good. But even in training, why are you knocking people out, man? We were just rolling, and he wanted to start standing up. Oh, and everyone told him not to. Oh, he got taken down. Oh God. What 10 Planet people ain't got no takedowns except for PJ Barch. He wanted to start standing up. LOL. Everyone told him not to. They were trying to save him. Man, don't do it, man. Don't do it. Get back on the ground. LL Snap took him out. What'd you take him out with? Double leg? He didn't listen and he got what he got. God dog. Well, I ain't gonna stand up with you. God dog. LL Snap said, "Here we go." Just like I learned in Cuba. I mean, if you there's some people you should be wrestling, you know. Especially if you ain't never wrestled. Why are you trying to wrestle? You know he's gonna go for that Imanari role too. That's what the 10th Planet people go for. You guys know I got extra tea, man. I got even more tea over here in the Yeti. Ooh, it's hot too. LOL Snap. LOL Snap. He said, God, that man said he wanted to test my skill. Don't ever say that to a Cuban wrestler. Don't ever say that. I'm going to test your skill. And now he concussed. He woke up. What year is it? What's your name? What's the date? God, dog. Nah. Man, people out there, you can't be calling everybody out, man. We live in this influencer age where people be trying to call people out and they ain't got the skill. They call LOL Snapped out. You know what? I would have looked at him. You know what? I think you're right. Let me go ahead and sit my behind down. Dorothy Slipper says, as soon as someone wants to wrestle, I berimbolo my way to the bathroom. Where's Marley at? LL Snap says he was recording. I think he's a YouTuber. Oh no. You know his name? Is he gonna do a video on you? He said Dojo stormed and got knocked out. I mean, yeah, if you recording, all right, man, that's it, man. Okay, man, my friend, let's go. And he called your skill out. That's terrible, bro. These YouTubers. Am I a YouTuber? Well, I became a YouTuber after I was already decent at jiu-jitsu, so hopefully I'm a little bit different. But I don't call nobody out, especially when I go to a new school. I'm chill, man. I'm going to roll respectfully. I'm going to roll very, very respectfully. LL Snap said, man, I'm going to tear this YouTuber up. Took him out. Oh, man, that's wild. All right, I feel pretty warmed up. Tea is teeing. Got a couple people in the live stream chat, so we good. So let's get into a couple stories, man. I got a lot of tabs, so, I'll just try to knock them out if I can. Some Reddit stories. You know how it be, man. We start ranting, or I start ranting, and then time's up. 3 hours gone like that. Boom. Can't do nothing. 3 hours gone. 3 hours go like, boom. What happened? LL Snap says, everyone told him not to, so I'm not at fault. Did he sign the waiver? That's on him. My coach told him afterwards, never do that again. He's on the blacklist. Well, he wasn't going to come back no way. Why was he going to come back? To get another concussion? I think he learned his lesson. These YouTubers, most of these YouTubers suck. Most of these jiu-jitsu YouTubers suck. They terrible. They terrible. It's true. They terrible. That's why I can't watch their videos, because they terrible. You watch some of these YouTube people, I'm like, man, that's terrible, man. And they be getting the most views. The worst YouTube people be getting the most views. I'll be like, God, dog, that's what you guys want? All right, let me get out of here. Let me go to live stream. And now you post a good technique. People be debating you in the comments. LL Snap says, no, they put me on the blacklist. Oh, I can't roll with people from other. God, dog. LL Snap. Hey, you know what? That's for the best. You can't roll with you can't roll with people from out of town. You for sure can't roll with the ladies, and you can't roll with the new people. LL Snap, the force of nature. You got to contain him. Put him in the back. Put him in the back. They made your own gym in the back just for you, man. That's wild. That's how they raised you up in Cuba, man. I mean, that's just how it is. Josiah. All right, Josiah. You better pull guard when you go to Houston. But you a white belt, Josiah. They ain't gonna let you roll LOL snap. They're gonna have me sign a couple waivers. All right, Alec, are you sure you want to sign the dotted line? You sure you want to roll with them? Yeah. Okay, check here, check there. You got your life insurance set up? Yeah, I'm good. LOL Snap says, ask Chewy and Scissorhands what I did to them. Who's Scissorhands? Who's that? I know Chewy. Man, I said these YouTubers ain't good. I already said these YouTubers ain't good. These YouTubers, bro, they be talking like they know some stuff. They be talking like they be talking like they gonna do something. They ain't doing nothing. Let me get into a couple stories because we go into story time. LOL Snap need to start his own live stream, but they're gonna take him off very quickly. They're gonna take, yeah, but he okay, man. He okay. See, Josiah think everybody good. Josiah think everybody good. There's levels to this. Even for me, there's people, I go train with Lucas Lepre. I'm holding on for dear life. I'm rolling with Lucas Lepre. I'm like, here we go. I'm a step or two behind. Like, dang, I thought I was doing good. But yeah, I wish LOL Snap could start his own live stream, but man, he can't. They're gonna take him out the first day. He gonna offend everybody. Man, that tea helps. Josiah says, I watch Chewy's channel every day. Wow. Josiah, how you got all this time, bro? God, dog. All right, let's get into some stories, man. Let me get into some stories. Not really stories. Let's look at some Instagram first. We'll see what's going on Instagram. And I got all the same stuff up from yesterday because I didn't have, we didn't have time to cover everything yesterday. So we'll see what we can do today. I'm trying to move the screen. There we go. We got Josiah's favorite, Miss Helena. And she's not working. Helena, where are you, Helena? She's selling something. She's been selling a lot of stuff recently. I can't hate the grind, but
Hey guys, I've been training Jiu-Jitsu for 10 years now. Within those years, I've been able to be the youngest finalist at ADCC, as well as win IBJJF Worlds multiple times. But most importantly, I love the aspects of the community and always improving while doing it. As a professional athlete, I train every day, twice a day. It's important for me to protect my fingers. I'm super excited to try out wraps, compression gloves. If you don't have enough time to tape your fingers, they buddy tape your fingers together so you can still move freely while preventing injuries. You can easily slip them on before training and you can reuse them all the time. Plus, Graps was created by a BJJ black belt and collegiate wrestler. They have a big support for the Jiu-Jitsu community and you can get yours at getgraps.com, so check them out. Hey guys, I've been training Jiu-Jitsu for 10 years now. Within those years,
I don't know about that. I'd rather just take my hands because that looks funny. It looks like some MMA gloves, kind of. I guess if your fingers are really hurt, you can wear that. Otherwise, I'm a big fan of tape. Or, the most important thing, let go. Let go of the grip. You got the grip. I feel like some of you guys complain about your grip. I think you got to work your grip strength. And you guys know you don't just hold outright. I think you guys are using too much forearm and too much stress on the fingers. Look, when I'm holding my gi grip, look, this is what I do. Can you see my hand? I do this. Whoop. And I'm engaging my, my bicep, my tricep. Yeah, pistol grip. It depends what kind of gi they got on. If they got the small fitted gi, you can't wear that pistol. That pistol grip ain't gonna work. But or you know what? You switch your grip to something else. Knock on wood. My finger's been pretty good. I can't think the last time I heard some knock on wood for me. You know what? I just let go. I switch my grip. You guys be holding on for dear life, and then your grip gets broken. Finger pops. Can't extend your finger no more. Pistol grip works okay too if they got enough fabric. But if they got the fitted gi, you can't get that pistol grip. That tea's good, man. We starting our day off with Helena. That's not what I want to see. Let's see. Some judo. What the judo people doing?
Starts at 9 a.m. What time do you arrive?
8:20. So I think stretching, feeling tatami, everything is mentally, You need minimum 40 minutes.
1 minute before, no. 15 minutes for a little bit warm up, then go. But I prefer 10 o'clock. 9, it's a little bit early.
We don't do that here.
What do you think of the people that just come 10 minutes before and run it?
No. This is discipline, This is discipline.
8:40.
20 minutes enough?
Yeah. I warm up a little bit before the training and then I get ready mentally.
This is him choice, I don't know. But I think this is discipline. That's why they get it after injury, So it's better they coming early, Good, they make good warm up, good stretching, and be ready.
7:40. Some stretching, some recovery for my knees, tape my knee as well. All of this stuff. I hate belay, that's the worst for me.
It was perfect. Perfect.
Do you always arrive to other appointments in life on time?
Always. I don't like when someone will coming late. I don't like this thing. This is, I think, it's still in judo, all time, always.
So discipline for life.
Yes, for life, sure.
If the training starts at 9 a.m.
Nobody, jiu-jitsu people don't show up to 9:05, 9:10, 9:15, 9:20, 9:30, 9:35, 9:45. Some of you guys show up at 9:45. You done missed most of the class. At jiu-jitsu people, judo people a little bit more on time, especially Europeans. They're gonna get there on time. Dorothy Slipper says, "I drive my go-to to make them sleeves tight." There you go. Okay, no pistol grip. Can't get the pistol grip on you, so we got to go back to the regular grip. Josiah, yeah, LOL snap. I want to see LOL. I want to see LOL snap versus Jiu-Jitsu. Can we set that up? Dorothy Slipper says, if you're over 25 in judo, you're either in the Olympics or you're in carpentry. oh man, come on. That's too low. I mean, it's true, but it's too low. Travis Stevens, if you're watching this, please. Well, I guess he's making good money though. You know those build outs. He probably making 30,000, 50,000, 100,000. How much he make? How much you guys think he making over there? He making probably some good money. He making those build outs expensive, and he got a small team. They probably at least $5,000 to $10,000 in his pocket. Hopefully, Chewy too small. But Leia, what's up, man? Ocean's BJJ, man. It looked good. It looked good. Josiah said he watched all the matches, right, Josiah? What'd you watch, Josiah? Was it Polaris or Ocean's BJJ you watched? Good to have you back, man. We over here talking about what time people show up to class. I said people don't show up to really 9:05, 9:15. 10 o'clock? Who comes at 10 o'clock? Of course, we got Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, November 14th. I don't know if they should do this fight. They tried to do it in Atlanta, but they said this ain't a real fight. Look at the size difference.
My temper trying to be more empathetic. Cause Kyrie gave me years on a couch, I'm still indebted. I'm working on my money and my word and on my credit. But they think that I'm now this size difference for real. That music, I can't play that music. What's the difference in size? I mean, there's a height difference for sure. Weight difference, height difference, experience difference. We'll see what's gonna happen. I do believe Tank gonna make 200 milli though, which is more. That's more than all that UFC don't even pay 200 million. You can't even get 200 million out the UFC. They're gonna split that 2,000 ways. They gonna what's 200 million divided 2,000 ways? Is that still 100,000? I think it is. LL Snap says, I show up when I show up. I get sent to the back room anyway, so I do. Belay, if you don't know. Oh no, I missed the commentary. Is it on Flow? It's on Flow Grappling. I might have to rewatch your commentary.
Belay says, I busted out some Moneyberg references at the Ocean BJJ commentary. Oh man, I should have been there. Should have been watching. It looked like a lot of fun. What were some of your favorite matches, Balea? Dorothy Slipper says, Davis on the Moneyberg layaway plan. He gonna get some money now. I hope he don't take a dive, but he might. Go, well, 200 million. You can take a dive. You could listen. We ain't gonna argue if you take that dive for 200 million. I mean, 200 million. You ain't ever gonna get that money from the UFC. Dana White would kill himself before he paid anybody 200 million, and he got the 200 million. So that's cool. We'll see what happens, man. It says Greg Kirkliet, I always mess his last name up, signs with Lehigh Valley RTC Regional Training Center. So that's pretty cool. If you guys remember Greg Kirkliet, he did CGI 1. And I guess he just graduated from Penn State. You guys know most of the Penn State guys don't want to be there at Penn State no more, Penetration State. Dorothy Slipper says Tank isn't just a name, it's a lifestyle. That's true, but I mean that's a big difference in size. It says another great pickup for Lehigh as they add NCAA champion Greg Kirkliet to the, I mess his name up all the time, to the Lehigh Valley RTC. They also added Vincenzo Joseph as assistant coach, so that's pretty cool. Someone says, I don't understand why leave PSU, Penetration State University. Are there cracks in the foundation, or was it the school related? I mean, what you gonna do at Penn State? Penn State been all up in the news. Everybody been in trouble. Starachi got kicked out of there. I was about to say Pat Downey. Kyle Snyder was in trouble. At least he won the world championship. Aaron Brooks got popped. So it might be just for optics. I don't know. It says RTCs are starting to be more spread out with talent instead of alumni sticking around. There's really, I don't know. Penn State's just too packed. There's too many people there. At one point, they had everybody there. So hopefully Lehigh and some of the other schools like University of Penn get some of those guys. Mateus Gabriel. I still feel like Andy Murasaki should have won. Andy Murasaki, he gave Mateus Gabriel the win. He gave that man the win. But that should have been Andy Murasaki's world championship. But it happens, man. It happens. He says another chapter in this 5-year journey.
But it's over. But they send this. Destroy what destroys you. They didn't just over what wasn't necessary. They paid for the coming back. Thank you, Vital, for always believing on me. I'm happy to stay with you guys. 5 years, 2 black belt world titles, 1 surgery that almost ended everything. When I wake up, I thought it's over. But they send this. Destroy what destroys you. They didn't just over what wasn't necessary. They paid for the coming back. Thank you, Vital, for always believing on me. I'm happy to stay with you guys.
Okay. Looks like he's got a match versus Carlos Henrique. I'm going to be honest. I like Mateus Gabriel. He's good. I don't know how much no-gi he's done. I don't think he's done much no-gi. Now, that Carlos Henrique kid is good. I seen him do, UFC BJJ, ADCC Opens. That kid good. So we'll see how Gabriel does. Now, if he gets taken out, it's possible. My advice to Mateus, don't berimbolo. Josiah says, I watched a lot of BJJ events this weekend. Dorothy Slipper says, can Carter get kicked out when he's a 9th-year senior? Well, he already did get kicked out, didn't he? I forget, where did he go? Well, he can't train at the RTC there. I forget, where did Srirachi go? He's somewhere. You know what? He was working out with Training Lab. That's where he was. He over there with Training Lab. We always talk about Training Lab, but I think he was working out over there. Josiah says, I watch BJJ Stars, Ocean BJJ, and Cade Fury. Man, and Polaris.
Josiah, how many TVs you got, Josiah? Josiah says Carlos Enrique is good. He beat a guy I can't say on here. He's beat a lot of guys. Thank you, Josiah. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, brother. I'm not gonna bet against Carlos Enrique. I'm sorry, Mateus Gabriel. Balea, who's gonna be who's number one, man? We still trying to figure that out. Who the rest of the guys on there? Josiah says, to be fair, I watch a lot of BJJ. Yeah, you do. You should get into commentary. Well, I don't know if you understand everything, but you gotta do something with that skill. Amit says giveaways. Win a 3x6 Dolomer mat featuring and signed by Olympic medalist Amit Elor. Now, Amit, why would you give these creepy dudes a mat of you? Why would you give all these creepy guys a mat with you on there? You know what those guys gonna do to that mat? You know what Josiah's gonna do? I'm sorry, Josiah. I'm throwing you under the bus. You know what some of these guys are gonna do with that? Man, I don't think they thought this through. You're going to have dudes rolling up and down on your $1 mat. All right, Amit. Who thought this was a good idea? You know how many creepy guys there are in jiu-jitsu and wrestling and judo? Josiah says, I'll bet against Max Hansen at IBJJF no-gi pants. He ain't winning that. I'm actually rooting for Max Hansen, though. Josiah, don't bet me no more. Mushmaster says those creeps are gonna at least sniff it. Yeah, that's pretty vanilla. They might do worse than that. So I don't know who thought this was a good idea. who thought this was a good idea? All right, Amit. Mushmaster, what's up? We got Ben Kuzel. You guys remember Ben Kuzel? He's the kid that got injured at Fight Sports. So that's the reason I don't really go up to Fight Sports. You know, they might do that to me. If they do that to their homeboy, what do you think they're gonna do to me or Mushmaster or LOL Snap? Well, LOL Snap might be okay if he go up there. You know, he might knock out Cyborg. You missed it, Mushmaster. LOL Snap was knocking people out. Josiah says, I'm avenging that bet, Alec. I'm 0-1 against you in bets. Well, I'm not betting nothing right now. I'm not going to bet nothing for that one because that, somebody could come out of nowhere and win that pans. Anyway, we got Ben Kuzel. Let's see what he's got to say.
The reality, it's never going to be easy. You know what I mean? Like if I were to be like, I'm going to walk again, and every day I show up to therapy and I break my heart every single day, I'm never going to be happy with myself because I'm never getting closer to my goals, right? But like when you set goals that are attainable and you just celebrate your little wins, everything kind of lines up because you have a reason to celebrate. You have a reason to be happy, right? Like, cooking, dinner for myself. It's a huge accomplishment. I'm stoked every time I successfully cook a meal. I take a picture, I send it to my mom.
Wow.
As long as you fight the reality, it's never going to be easy.
That's some real talk from Ben Kuzel. He's been paralyzed, I believe, 2 or 3 years. So, man, I know he's happy to be alive. What's up? How that happened training at Fight Sports. I believe he was spiked on his head or something, going for a takedown. And you guys remember that move that's illegal when someone shoots with a single leg? And, there's a move where you push the head out to the side and you sit back. I don't know if anybody remembers that move. It's pretty old. It's like a defense to the single leg that's illegal. And there's one where you grab they're going for a single leg on you. You push their head to the outside and you grab their belt and you sit and turn. Yeah, I believe it was that or somebody jumped on, like he was going for a takedown and someone jumped on him. It was something like that. Anyway, it happened at his gym, so that's why I don't really go up there. I'm not trying to go out there. And they did, and he was like one of their guys, one of their top guys. So imagine if I go up there. Mushmaster says Erbert is the reason that move is illegal. Oh, he was the one? What did he do? Well, what didn't he do, really? Erbert was one of the best grapplers that would just break mentally. If you got him in a good position, he would just break. But he was super tough. He tapped Morgali out.
He tapped out Bernardo. You know, he actually retired Bernardo. That's crazy. He was so violent, but he was good, but violent. And, you know, just too wild, man. But he was exciting. You know, him versus Leandro Lo was some good matches. But yeah, I'm happy that is illegal. The DDT single leg defense. Well, the thing is, you're supposed to pull and do like not a sit out, but you know, like a slide through. But some of these guys, they be jumping. They jump and pull you, and you just go right into the mat. Urbuff was super aggressive. Yeah, he was exciting. I'm not gonna take that away from him. He was exciting. He was too aggressive in real life too. I was about to ask you guys a question. What was the question I was going to ask? Oh, is anybody going to go watch the new Smashing Machine with the Rock? They call him the Pebble now. Mushmaster says, I used to train with Urbuff every day. Oh, no. I'm sure that was, that was a role you weren't really looking forward to every day. You just got to get out the way. And they probably put you together a couple times. Yeah, yeah, that's rough, man. Josiah says The Rock looks sick. He said he's well, that's what happens when you get off all your supplements. But he said he's getting ready for a different role. But I might go check that movie out. When does it come out again? Let me see real fast. Smashing Machine. Unfortunately, they took down the free YouTube video, I think. It used to be free on YouTube, the original Smashing Machine. Let's see. October 3rd. Okay, when is that? That's not this weekend, next weekend? All right, I might go check that out. Mushmaster says, I might, but the documentary already tells that is true. And it was actually him in there, not The Rock wearing a toupee or whatever. Says the doc is one of the best sports docs ever. And they took it down. I don't know. I guess maybe you had to find it on DVD or something. But it was free on YouTube, man. That was so awesome, man. Yeah, it is one of the best sports docs. And the thing is, it starts off about the sport and then it delves into like deeper themes that I think that really resonates with people. Yeah, that was good, man. I might check that out. We'll see. Mushmaster says Mark Coleman was the MVP of that documentary, low key. Oh yeah, Mark Coleman. They showed him and his family. And those guys were just, they were different breed back in those days, man. Different breed of guys, And you know what? They were making more money. They were making more money than the fighters nowadays. Now and it was harder because they had to fight in the tournament. You had to have 2 or 3 matches in a night, and they didn't know as much. Oh, telephone's ringing. Yeah. So man, Mark Coleman. I like Mark Coleman. I still follow him to today. He still be working out. We got Mr. Felipe Andrew. His opponent, did when you go for the handshake, but his opponent went and shot for the single leg or whatever. So that's pretty wild, man. You know what these guys always say, man? I didn't see it, man. I didn't see your hand, man. So I mean, it's within the rules. And he did get the win because of that. So I don't know what to say. It happens. I mean, man, you fighting another Brazilian man. You fighting another Brazilian man. What you think is gonna happen, man? You think? Oh no, yeah, it sucks. Felipe Andrew says, "Can we have audio on this?"
Leo Ferreira scores 2. He steals the victory. We said before the match started, Leo Ferreira winning means he is going to walk into the next IBJJF season as the top heavyweight. I think he just did it. And able to return him to the mat. Oh,
Whoa,
wow.
whoa. That's advantage worthy.
That might be an advantage worthy. And wow, in the last 10 seconds, Leo Ferreira with his wrestling is going to get that done. Does he score the points?
I mean, it's not against the rules. Now, I prefer not to win that way, but, you know. Mushmaster says, do you think the grapplers from the early 2000s were better than the ones now? I mean, that's not the fairest comparison because you got a lot more technology now than the early 2000s. I will say those guys are probably more well-rounded. And, I mean, who are you talking about? Like Marcelo Garcia? And Hodger, I mean, I still don't think we don't have anybody as good as Marcelo or Hodger. Like we still nobody is as good as those guys still. It's just nobody's as good as Marcelo or Hodger or some of those other guys. I think the skills are better now. We just have better everything. We got better nutrition, better education on sports science and jiu-jitsu techniques. But those grapplers from the early 2000s were good, man. And most of them fought. Most of them had some MMA experience. They probably were more well-rounded. You know, they had a smaller skill set, but they were better at their skills. Josiah says, heck no, Mushmaster. Josiah says, he who shall not be named is as good as Marcelo and Guy and Hoffman. And that is not even possible. For example, Mark Kerr was killing it in ADCC and could fight. That's true. So if we were to compare Mark Kerr to, what's Nicky Rod, I would say Mark Kerr. Mark Kerr could probably still beat Nicky Rod, though. Mark Kerr would probably still take Nicky Rod. Especially the big guy. Well, the big guys haven't really evolved that much. Mark Kerr could still come in and basically win ADCC, you know, if he had a young version of him. Maybe not for the small people. Yeah, Braulio, Homolo, those guys were really good. You know, I did a video on Homolo, and all that knee cut stuff, all that open guard stuff, people still can't pass that stuff nowadays. BJ Penn in his prime was wild to watch. Yeah, I mean, they didn't have the same, they didn't have the same technology that we have now. So, but they were all really good. Don't get it wrong. You know, if you took BJ Penn and made him young and took away the CTE and put him into today's time, he would be great. All those guys were great, you know. Josiah says, Mark Kerr versus Nicky Rod. I love to see Mark Kerr. I think Mark Kerr would tear Nicky Rod apart. LL Snap says, I'm either doing ADCC or the Craig Jones next year if he has one. All right, bro. You can at least, I know you can beat up Brandon Reed, though. You can take out Brandon Reed. Lucas Lepre. Well, Lucas didn't really hit his stride until later. But he won the worlds his first year of black belt, so he was good. Michael Lange. You know what? We had some superstars back in those days. And we didn't have social media, so, you know, you only knew a couple people. And they weren't on social media, so you couldn't hear them talking about stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I looked up to a lot of those guys. Nowadays, I try to avoid all the people. I try to avoid everybody nowadays. LL Snap says, I can take out Nicky Rod, the $1 million grappler. You might be able to. Must Smasher says, that's what I'm saying. You had to win. Mac 2, what's going on? Yeah, it was a different time, man. Everybody was good back in those days, man. And you know what? We had some, just some, like, legends, like Hoffa Mendez, Cobrinha, you know, Marcelo. People like, can you imagine? I guess Tynan's kind of almost to that point. Nobody else really. Maybe Eric Munez, but back in those days, you knew, all right, you go to featherweight, you fighting for third place. You went to middleweight, you fighting for second and third. You go to middle heavy, you fighting for second and third. Like you'll go to these tournaments, you knew you weren't gonna win. These guys were winning 6, 7, 8 times. You like, how do I beat this person? LL Snap says, that dude can't hang with my wrestling. Uh-oh. Mushmaster says, Mark Kerr would kill Nicky Rod. Yeah, I think he would. MacTube says, what have we talked about so far? Too much stuff, man. I can't even keep up with what we talked about. Josiah says, just don't hurt he who shall not be named. Even he was doing good back in those days. Let me see. We got Mr. LeBron James. Mushmaster says, Cobrinha won the Grand Slam and ADCC in the same year at 40. And man, these guys nowadays, they're not gonna make it to 40. The way they going. Saying you know who is better than MG is disrespectful. That's true. I mean, I still don't think anybody's better than Marcelo Garcia. I'm saying right now, if you took prime Marcelo Garcia, I don't think Mika Galval could do anything. I don't think Tynan can do anything. None of those guys could do anything. What are you going to do against Marcelo? How are you going to catch Marcelo? The only thing you can catch Marcelo in is a Kimura. That's the only way you can catch Marcelo, prime Marcelo. Otherwise, what you going to do? We got LeBron James. He says, why did I save this? I don't know. Let's listen.
Free, no way.
This is free. This is LeBron edition, Richard Mille.
Is this actually a LeBron edition?
Yes.
Oh, so then it probably was free.
Listen, you see my wedding band? It say my queen, free. Hat, wave cap, Dewey, free. Listen, Forever King is free, Forever King me. I ain't got no money, man.
I'm broke, baby.
My kids got all the money now. NILs and shit. They got all the money. They take care of dad now. I ain't got nothing. I'm broke.
The Richard wasn't free, no way.
This is free. This is LeBron edition, Richard Mille.
Look at my man Bron getting everything for free. I think Jacare got him too. But that's basically it. Hodger, Tedade, Jacare. And what's that American guy, the guy in Florida? MacTube says, there's no way to know for sure, but Marcelo looked good. I'm saying prime Marcelo. He beat Imanari at 1. I think he should fight someone good. We want him versus Wagner Hosha. That might be the best matchup. Dorothy Slipper says, let's not sleep on Sanji Hibeto. I mean, you start Sanji, okay, Saulo. You got to name everybody. Comprido. Everybody was good back in the day. Tedade, Jacare, man, so many good people, man. Fabio Gurgel, De La Hiva, the real De La Hiva. Did you know De La Hiva's a person? Yeah, Hoyler used to be good. Shaolin used to be really good. Man, there were so many good grapplers back in the day. And I fought. I remember I was training at Cobrinha's. And they put me up with this older guy. I was probably like 25, 26. They put me with this older black belt. I was like, man, get this black belt out of here. And I rolled that black belt, and then I was like, dang, I'm getting crushed. Come to find out, it's an old black belt world champion, Eduardo Portuguese. And I was like, God, dog, who was that guy? So I learned my lesson that day. Don't underestimate those old people, man. Margarita. I used to love Margarita. Margarita Remix, Celsius Vinicius. Them old guys good, bro. And they low key. Bruno Frazzato, Ari Frias, Leo Lech, Lucas Lech. Man, all them guys was good. And they might beat the heavyweights nowadays. Biggie Mac. Man, so many good guys. Fabricio Werdum. Remember when Fabricio Werdum won Worlds? Megaton. Taquinho. Yeah. So many good people. What's the guy that is with Gracie Baja? Hobson Mora. He's not with Gracie Baja. Hobson Mora, Marcio Fitoza. Man, everybody was good back in the day. De La Hiva, the potential. Yeah, that guy. Now I didn't bring up nothing about his past. If you look too deep in some of these guys' past, you won't be able to, can't mention their names. He said Danaher. I'm shocked he never competed. I do remember hearing rumors that there was good people at Henzo's. I'm not sure why Danaher never competed though. That's probably the only blemish on Danaher's not his resume, but his background, his history is that he didn't compete. But so many good guys. There's a ton of good people nowadays. Leo Vieta, Ricardo Vieta, Tellez, Eduardo Tellez. No internet, cloud chasing, just smoke. Yeah, back in the day, if you were doing good, you ended up in Gracie Mag or something. And that took a couple months to get out. It took a couple months for you to get put in that Gracie Mag. He says, I was told Danaher had an injury that prevented him from competing. All right, well, that's possible. Yeah. So many good people back in the day. Back in the days. There's good people. There's a ton of good people nowadays. I can't even keep up with all the good people nowadays. Pedro Pano. Yeah, Pedro Pano. He's still around a little bit. He's coaching in Florida somewhere. Tampa or something like that. I don't know. Mac 2 probably. He says Danaher probably competed at local places, but it was so old they were probably never recorded with history. That's not true. He not that old, man. Danaher is not that old. They got video of Matt Serra out there competing. Matt Serra, Babs. Yeah, the New York scene. New York had a good scene back in those days. He wasn't that old, man. Josiah says almost everyone in BJJ today needs a spanking. Everyone is too similar and don't have their own personalities. They don't have any personality. Mushmaster says bring them back in their prime and learn leg entanglements. Everyone is in trouble. Yeah, I mean they the same human beings as us. Give them the same nutrition, the same everything. They be good. Now that wouldn't be fair. You got prime Hoffa Mendez, prime Marcelo, prime Cobrinha. Nobody would be winning anything. We'd be terrorized. Prime Hodger. He couldn't win nothing. Well, Hodger wins again. Wow, amazing. You remember those days? Hodger tapped everybody out again. Amazing. Them days was wild. People getting choked out for mouth. Like, what's going on over here? LL Snap says, my problem wasn't my youth. I was tied up in bike contracts all the time. Bike contracts? Or fight contracts? Josiah says, Danaher looks like Voldemort. He does. Well, he used to have hair. Fight contracts, yeah. Well, we didn't have professional grappling like we do nowadays. But it worked out for you, right? LL Snap, you gonna get some good money. Josiah says Marcelo needs to come out of retirement. He would smoke today's athletes. I mean, that's not fair. He might still give him a hard time, but he's not the curly haired Marcelo anymore. You know when he had the fro with the curly hair, that was the Marcelo you had to watch out for. And the short shorts that Josiah likes. I'm sorry, Josiah, I'm throwing you under the bus. MacTube says the people of today have the benefit of watching tapes from all the fighters of the past and instructionals and the internet. Don't underestimate the internet. They can get better every day. We couldn't watch nothing live. You had to wait for Worlds to be put on the DVD. Somebody had to make a VHS. MacTube says teenagers now are pulling off stuff you would see in world championships back in the day. Every generation gets better with a few standouts that are all-time greats in every gen. The thing is, we don't have any all-time greats like Hoffa Mendez and Cobrinha, Marcelo, Tedade. Like, those guys were so dominant. Mushmaster says, Hodger finished Buchecha. Pause. He did finish him. Was the first match a draw? Josiah says the Fro Marcelo was vicious back then. Mushmaster says Valtudo shorts, Marcelo. you see curly haired Marcelo with the Valtudo shorts. You like, oh man, this ain't gonna go too well. This ain't gonna go too well. Yeah. Oh man. Let me try to defend myself. Josiah says my cousin is a brown belt and he's 17. That's amazing. Josiah says my younger cousin has defeated black belts and he's a brown belt at 17. Well, you should be beating some of those old black belts. If they, you should be able to. Just with youth, you can beat some of them old black belts up. What do you mean by defeated? There's no defeating, and maybe in a tournament. We got Mr. Mushmaster. You know I like Mushmaster, man. Not Mushmaster, Muggsy. Sorry, Mushmaster. I'm saying I meant to say Muggsy, not Mushmaster. I like Mushmaster too, but we got Mr. Muggsy out here. Mushmaster says arm drag from butterfly guard to the back and choke you out. And you didn't know what he was doing back then. You didn't know what X guard was. You didn't know what single leg X was. You didn't know what the butterfly was. You didn't know what the arm drag was. You didn't know what the guillotine was like that. You didn't know what none of Marcelo was doing. The backpack, the seatbelt. You didn't know what Marcelo was doing. He was just making up stuff.
You're down by 4. You got 30 seconds. You're just going to stay down by 4 on national TV? That's how you're going out? I didn't think so. You're down by 4.
I like Muggsy, but man, he's just not a good wrestler. He got a match coming up. The only people Muggsy can beat is high school kids. He can't beat no real wrestler. He can't. Muggsy. He can only beat kids. He can't. He can only. Muggsy got 2 moves. He got a lateral drop and an ankle pick. And if he can't get those 2 things, that's it. He done. Josiah says Marcelo was a beast back then. My aunt Patricia was a huge fan of his. She used to go to his fights and she had DVDs of his fights. Marcelo's website back then was fire too. Oh, MG in action. Also, Marcelo had the first online not course, but online, system, online curriculum, basically, whatever, the MGA online. That was Marcelo was the first one to do that stuff. Now it was a ton of hook sweeps. MacTube says, imagine if Marcelo was a middleweight size or higher back in it. He was middleweight. Muggsy, he is inspirational. He's just not a good wrestler. Marcelo was middleweight. Well, if he got too big, he would have been just a Swiss ball. Josiah says Marcelo should be inducted into the Jiu-Jitsu Hall of Fame. He's not in there? He should be. They slow, man. All right, let me look at Reddit real fast. What we got on Reddit? It says the BJJ instructor in Prague exposes a fake blue belt visiting his academy. Josiah, you better not put no fake blue belt on. You sorry, Josiah. You catch it straight today. I'm sorry, bro. This be happening. This is the people on Reddit putting on fake belts and stuff. Josiah says, Gordon Ryan, sit down. Marcelo is the real king of jiu-jitsu. Gordon's good too. Gordon is good. I can't take that away from him. LL Snap says, why would you fake a blue belt? That's a great question. Why would you fake a blue belt? At least fake something high. Well, I guess you could. I don't know. Josiah says, LMAO, I'm earning my belt the right way. So let's check this out and see.
I contacted Angie Roberts. Yes. You're not a blue belt. You lied to me. You're not a blue belt. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a blue belt, to be honest. I'm not high up. No, but you're not a blue belt. You said you're not a blue belt. That's why you want to take a picture of me holding a belt to look like I promoted you or something. Man, You're a liar. You lied to me. No, don't tolerate that. I don't want to train you. Like you said. I contacted him. He told me, you're not a blue belt. He's very upset that you pretend to be a blue belt. It was clear. You tell by the way you practice techniques. I don't want to train here, okay? I don't tolerate that. Okay, sorry.
Take that belt off. I always find it funny when, cases like Moneyberg or something like this happens, and people are like, why do you care? Why are you so upset? It happens all the time. People like Moneyberg and these fake belts, they're like, why do you care? Why are you so upset? And I'm like, man, I do care. I don't want to see people like this, And the thing is, you can tell that person ain't got the skill. You want me to turn my eyes off and pretend like this guy's a blue belt or that guy's a black belt when they clearly aren't? Man, that's not what jiu-jitsu's never going to be like that. You can do that in karate, possibly American karate or something, but as long as we're in jiu-jitsu, as long as all the old school people are in jiu-jitsu, man, that just can't fly. When you can't shrimp out, you can't do some certain moves, and you got a belt in jiu-jitsu, man, I'm questioning who'd you train with? Where are they? When did you get this belt? Are you sure? Give me that belt. I'll just take the belt off you. Yo, man, go ahead and give me that belt, man. MacTube says, what is your mentality when rolling with a female that's much lighter than you? Just roll normal. Try not to crush them and just roll normal. Use more flexibility. That's it. I mean, man, some of you guys can't. Do you go 50 or 80%? You just go whatever feels natural. I mean, some of you guys be going hard with the girls. And some of you, LOL Snap can't be with the girls. He might impregnate them. That Cuban calcium might get on top. If she's going all out, just try to meet her where she's at. Now, she might be upset. Some of these girls crazy too. You try to roll the exact same way they roll with you, and they get upset. So just play it by ear, man. You got to adjust. The same question, how do you roll with kids? I mean, don't kill them, but you still got to work too. LL Snap says, Josiah, give me $200 and I got you a blue belt, man. They won't say nothing to you. Well, we'll still say something. Now, we won't say nothing to LL Snap's face, but we'll still say something. Josiah says, I hate liars. Mushmaster says, he should have just said he got it online. he said, I got it from that guy. MacTube says, no, I mean, if Marcelo was actually bigger, like Giancarlo's size, well, he wouldn't be Marcelo then. You can't change his size or dimensions. He'd have been even more unstoppable. Well, I don't know. I mean, Giancarlo not unstoppable. Giancarlo be losing to small people all the time. I wouldn't change anything with Marcelo because he wouldn't be Marcelo anymore. He would have his whole style wouldn't work anymore. The arm drags from Butterfly, all that stuff would probably be gone. His quickness would be gone. His ability to jump on your back in a moment's notice would be gone. Dorothy Slipper says, next time they gonna expose fake trial class guys. Josiah says, Marcelo trained some of the best, but Marcelo should be in the Jiu-Jitsu Hall of Fame. Yeah, he should be. He's not an ADCC Hall of Fame or IBJJF Hall of Fame. He might be. This is why they don't let me roll in the front of the school anymore. You crazy, LL Snap. He says, because I will tell black belts and other people you need to get a refund on that belt. He got the Cuban standard over there. Josiah says, I rolled with a female the other day and was told not to go full force on her. That's good. Usually we don't put new people with girls though, unless they are more experienced. But it's not my school. What do I know? MacTube says, do you think there's a genuine consensus, even though everyone has their own criteria on what a blue belt, purple belt, and brown belt should look like after coaching for many years? Well, I have my ideal of what a blue belt and purple belt and brown belt is, so it's very subjective. And we can see that standard is not held everywhere. Some places they give the belt too fast. Some places they don't give the belt at all. I think there is a minimum threshold of technique that you need to have as a blue belt. Basic self-defense stuff. Get out of a headlock.
maybe a takedown or two, a couple guard passes, couple sweeps. You should have a general understanding of what you're doing in jiu-jitsu. Now you won't have all the answers. You're probably not creative, but you have a solid foundation, a solid foundation of what jiu-jitsu is. And I mean, yeah. I mean, I know when I see a blue belt. Hopefully, I can definitely tell when someone's not a blue belt. Understanding of the basic movements of jiu-jitsu. I don't know what else to say. But that standard might be eroding nowadays because you guys don't warm up. You don't guys don't want to drill, don't want to warm up, don't want to be instructed to. Now these newfangled ecological bros, I don't know what belt they got. They can't shrimp. They against the side. They don't like the side mount. They don't. Josiah says he's in the ADCC Hall of Fame. Marcelo is okay. LL Snap says I treat women like men. Do you want to act like a man? Okay, I'm gonna treat you like what? Okay, LL Snap can't roll nobody. LL Snap says it took me more time to get my blue belt than it did to get my black belt. Your coach was like, man, you got to get some technique. Mushmaster says, cue the Islam Makachev soundbite. I need to get one of those soundboards. Once I get some more money, I'll get one of those soundboards. Man, you're not a black belt, brother. What is this black belt? Yeah, I'll get some sound bites. LL Snap says, Raul said, because I had personality problems, LOL, and I was an asshole. Yeah, okay, yeah. And sometimes the people ain't ready for the belt. They ain't got the behavior is terrible. They creeping on all the girls. Yeah, you ain't getting no belt for me. I don't care how good your jiu-jitsu is. You gotta have something outside the gym too. You gotta have some discipline, some focus, something, man. Mushmaster says there should be a universal curriculum. I know for Alliance we had a belt test, so you had to have a certain number of techniques from certain positions. But they could always go off the criteria. They could throw a curveball. Okay, how do you do a berimbolo? Oh, okay. What do you do if this happens? You should be able to converse about jiu-jitsu techniques. If you're a blue belt, you should be able to converse about techniques and be able to adapt to certain techniques. Okay, what if he puts a knee shield here? How are you going to get past his guard now? Now, if you ain't got no answer, if you ain't got a decent technical answer, you shouldn't have that belt. Especially in the gi, you also need to know certain gi techniques. Okay, what kind of open guard? Spider guard? How do you pass the spider guard? How do you pass spider lasso? What about De La Hiva? What about this deep lasso? How do you get out of this deep lasso? Certain things you got to understand. So Mushmaster might be right about that curriculum. Mushmaster going to start his own. He's going to start his federation. We just got to write the business plan down, Mushmaster. Josiah says I've been slapped if I rolled with a woman like that. Yeah, don't do what he does. Josiah. They're not gonna have patience for you to do that stuff. LL Snap says purple belt and lower needs to be warming up no matter what. It builds personality. MacTube says, do you agree that people who compete have a better chance? MacTube, you asked me a lot of questions, bro. Too many questions. Let me play this video one more time.
I contacted Andrew Roberts. Yes. You're not a blue belt. You lied to me. You're not a blue belt. I'm sorry.
Too many questions, MacTube.
I'm about to be honest with you. No, but you're not a blue belt. You said you're not a blue belt. That's why you want to take a picture of me holding your belt. You look like a promoter or something. Man, you're a liar. You lied to me. I'm not tolerate that. I don't want to turn I contacted him, he told me, you're not a blue belt. He's very upset that you pretend to be a blue belt. It was clear, you tell by the way you practice techniques. I don't want to train here, okay? I don't tolerate that. Okay, sorry about
that. All right, yeah, MacTube, you asked too many questions, bro. Somebody answers his questions for me. LL Snap says, I was tapping
black belts as white belt. Well, that's I'm not gonna say that's not normal, but it happens. You know, of course you can catch them old, bro. What were you in your 20s? Of course you can catch them old black belts back in the day. The black belts with no knees, can't play guard. Yeah, you could beat some of them old black belts. But were you beating the good black belts? Probably not. LL Snap says, the problem is I was just too wild, and I can admit that I've calmed down a lot because I have to leave the other Cubans to the promised land. Thank you. He over there hurting people, knocking people out. MacTube said, yeah, MacTube, too many questions, bro. I'm sorry, bro. LL Snap says, in order for us to get our black belt, we have to get Shark Tank for an hour. My other black belt, I think I was the only person in the history of the school that tapped everyone. Jesus Christ. How old is the old black belt? It's more of mentality. An old black belt is a black belt that is, you know, kind of stuck in the old ways. You know, they still doing 1990s jiu-jitsu, 1980s jiu-jitsu. I mean, there are some older black belts. I think once you hit 50, you starting to get in that old black belt territory. And then LOL snapped over there trying to beat the 50-year-old black belt. The 50-year-old black belt with the, you know, he got a full-time job and he waiting for retirement. LL Snap early 20s looking like a monster, tearing them apart. LL Snap says, Mush and I will work for you for free just because I like you. Who, me? Dorothy Slipper says, I'm not a blue belt based on your criteria. All right. I'm sorry. But listen. It doesn't matter what I think because I'm not your coach. It really just matters what your coach thinks. Josiah says, if Landon Elmore could tap out Keith Krikorian as a purple belt, then anything is possible. Well, Krikorian messed up, and purple belt's one of the most dangerous belts out there. You know, purple belt is one of the most dangerous belts. You know, a good purple belt can take out, you know, entry level and mid level black belts. I think a good purple belt can. Now Landon, he's not gonna beat like a top black belt right now. Like that ain't gonna happen. But he could do well against entry, mid level black belts. Cause you know purple belt's just that magical. I mean, most purple belts, if you're winning like big tournaments at purple belt, you good, and you like usually pretty young. You're gonna do well. That's like high school. That's like me saying a good high school wrestler could get to the world championships in wrestling. It's happening. It happened. There's two kids, Jax Forrest and PJ Duke, high schoolers that made the world teams. It can happen. And you know what? A lot of those older guys, especially in wrestling, they beat up. Those collegiate wrestlers be so beat up they can't even move against those high school wrestlers. Patrick T says, Masters 4 for the win. MacTube, Flo just released a highlight video of all the submissions from European ADCC trials. It was good. I would check it out. We watched a little bit of that. I'm probably not going to go back to that. But maybe. We'll see. Josiah says, he who shall not be named wouldn't have tapped out to Landon. Maybe. Well, I don't know what Krikorian was doing. He left his leg out. I know that kid's good, but he left his leg out. It happens. You know, it happens. I'm trying to type. Somebody commented something on Moneyberg's YouTube. There we go. LL Snap says, not at the time Studio 76 Gordon Ryan was coming in. Yeah, but that was skinny Gordon. How much did Gordon weigh back then? Was that 88 kilograms, Gordon? Mikey was coming in. Raul was there. Roberto was there. A bunch of UFC fighters. I was tapping guys who are considered good nowadays. Yeah, but you know, Gordon used to be human back in the day. Josiah says, my cousin said that Owen Jones would beat he who shall not be named. I'm still waiting for that match. LL Snap, how you not on EBI and who's number one? He says, they have to pay me. I'm a prize fighter. I don't do anything for free anymore. That's true. You should get paid. All right. Now let's look at some of the comments too. Let's see. LOL Snap says, I gotta get that money. It says new fear unlocked. Visiting a gym on vacation and being so bad you get accused of lying. Oh no. Well, some people just bad. Some people just bad. That's true. So it says, I just take a white belt. I prefer they say you roll like a purple belt than who gave you a belt. who gave you a belt? We gotta check. Jiu-Jitsu people, quick. Where are you from? You from Gracie Baja? Where Gracie Baja? Who's your coach at Gracie Baja? The thing is, you should be embarrassed anyway. If you say you fake blue belt and you getting crushed by everybody, you're gonna be like, dang, I better take this off. Josiah says, BJJ athletes. MacTube says, I feel like it's not so much your belt level that determines your ability to beat someone, your experience and style. Well, your belt represents your experience. Your belt does represent some of your experience. Now, it won't cover all of it. It won't cover all of it, but typically, if you're a black belt, you're going to beat most everybody. Typically. Well, it won't cover everything, but odds are it's going to be in your favor. BJJ athletes need to get paid more money or better money. LO Snap says, man, purple belts are dangerous. If you're going to get tapped by anybody, it's going to be a purple belt. Yeah, a young purple belt or young brown belt or young black belt. Yeah, young anybody. If their joints are working really well, it's going to be tough. And they're wiry. Josiah says, Landon, Elmore, Rafael Ferreira, Christos Papadelos, dangerous black belts I've ever seen. Well, typically, say at world championships at IBJJF, usually we're looking at the purple belts to see who are going to be the next upcoming guys. So if you're winning at purple belt, usually you're going to be pretty good at black belt, brown and black belt. Typically, your purple belt world champions are going to be the up and coming guys, really. Dorothy says, you seen Gordon's gi class video from today. He human again. Aw. Well, Gordon used to be human. He used to be skinny, and he wasn't destroying everybody like he was in his prime. LL Snap, he was on them too. I think he just started. It takes time for that to kick in. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine, MacTube. He only said it about 2 or 3 times though. That's fine. As long as he doesn't overuse it, we're okay. Yeah, as long as he's contributing to the conversation in the chat, he's okay. Landon is the one chosen as a purple belt. He's the one. There we go. Look, MacTube. He's doing good. He doing good. Josiah doing good. You doing good, Josiah. I have no complaints right now. Moneyberg, yeah, Moneyberg ain't it. He ain't ever gonna roll. Someone says, I just realized that he can promote people and he has one of the best belt lineages. If you get your belt under Moneyberg, just go ahead and tap out. Alpha Bro Money Jiu-Jitsu Convention, only $4,000, $399.99 for 1-day seminar from pro athlete Mr. Moneybags, trained with the like of Don Janaher and Nikki Ryan's brother. For extra $17.69, get your black belt in our second day continuation. Says, imagine he's legit and makes the call though. Someone says, I'm just gonna show up with 6 stripes on my white belt. Dude, I'm horrible blue belt. Dude, I'm a horrible blue belt who regularly gets tapped by white belts, and the instructor who gave me my blue belt died in a car wreck. I'm hosed. I hope that's made up. Says being a blue belt is really no more impressive than being a white belt, especially being a bad blue belt. Just put on the white belt again and train. Literally, what is to be gained by faking a blue belt. Yeah, I mean, not much we can say. Don't fake your belts. Josiah says, Landon is the one, y'all. He made a believer at EBI. He made me a believer. Believer. Moneyberg versus Kokorian is what we all want to see. Yeah. He says, you can't keep getting away with it, meme. Yeah.
Josiah says the guy lied about being a blue belt. Let's see what else we got. We got some other stuff. I don't care about that. You guys can't even see all the tabs. Actually, can we read that? I need a translation. I won't read that. You guys, I won't make you guys sad. We're gonna skip that. Sorry, skip that. You didn't see anything. What's up, Alex?
And these are 3 reasons why you're going to want to be there in person for Quintet 5.
Welcome to Grappling Team Survivor!
It's a Middle East debut, and there's nothing like the first time, so the investors are going all in and going to put on the biggest show in the biggest city in the UAE, Dubai, Coca-Cola Arena, to bring that fight week energy along with UFC 321, Power Slap, and a bunch of different other activities going down for Abu Dhabi Showdown Week. There's also going to be legends leading the way. You have Renzo Gracie, Bob Sapp, Big Nog.
Almost got a pass the butt there. Almost tried to put Nogueira. No. It's going to be over. Fight is over. Pull his way out. He's going to be out. He's got the armbar, boss. Coleman tapping out. Oh, straight armbar. Mark Coleman has been submitted. Oh, my God. By Antonio Minotauro Nogueira.
And the man himself, Kazushi Sakuraba. And this is going to be the first time we're seeing the quintet format with some adjustments in the rules, like heavy stalling calls, all submissions allowed, and much more. So now that we know the coaches that are going to be involved, who do you think are going to be on these Legends teams? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget that today is the last day to get your early bird tickets. See you guys in Dubai.
Now, Alex, be on your best behavior in Dubai. Don't get in trouble out there. LOL snaps it. It's easy to get in trouble out there. Quintet going to be fire. MacTube says anyone who still goes to Moneyberg for anything other than Sean Strickland videos deserve to be scanned. Yep. Bro, I got so many tabs. There's no way we're going to cover all these tabs. I'm gonna skip out a lot of stuff. Kokorian been going after Mr. Moneyberg, and I support that. Kokorian might be MVP. I know he didn't win EBI, but he might be the MVP this year.
He's a loser.
Hey, I like that. Hey.
He's a loser.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
Loser.
Hey, I like that. I like that. That was hidden. Josiah says Keith Kokorian has personality. How isn't he mainstream? It's hard to make it in this sport, you know. It's hard to make it because Keith put out some good content. It's hard to make it. It's really hard to make it. Honestly, the best way to grow, I mean, outside of starting drama, the best way to grow is just to post more. To me, it's been to post more technical videos, more technical instruction. That was the best way for me to grow. Now it doesn't work for everybody, and the social media game changes left and right. So I like Keith Kokorian, and the thing is, Instagram ain't showing Kokorian to everybody. Keith says, all right. One more. I'm sorry. I just couldn't resist. What do you guys think? Is losing a match awkward, or is mocking someone more than half your age and threatening them with a lawsuit a little worse than that? He says, personally, I think hosting a podcast where you and your guests don't even look at each other is a little awkward. Kokorian says, ironically, I was about to stop talking about this guy until he sent me that DM. What? Oh, yeah, we missed that DM. Moneyberg is crazy, bro. Where's the Moneyberg? Oh, here it is. There we go. Wait, was that oh, that's Ollie right there. Matt Tube says, shout out to Big Nog. Was Bob Sapp good at fighting? No, he wasn't the best fighter, but he was huge. And you know what? He made a lot of money. He made some money. You know what? In Japan, they take care of you in Japan. You gonna do sponsorships. You're gonna do
videos. You're gonna make some good money in Japan. And then fighters come to America, you can't have no sponsors. You ain't on TV. UFC actively trying to handicap you. Japan took care of them fighters. UFC don't care. Dorothy Slipper says, or Josiah says, Keith Krikorian versus Moneyberg. Who's number 130? Balea, can we get that match with Moneyberg and Krikorian? Dorothy Slipper says, it's easy to get that anti-Moneyberg clout when there was zero chance he was going to invite you over to play in your socks. That's true. So Derek did send him a message. I never got a message from Moneyberg, so Moneyberg was like, let me leave this brother alone. Moneyberg said, let me leave this brother alone, but I'll go after Krikorian. He says, I see you tapped to an 18-year-old purple belt. That must be awkward. God damn. I mean, Moneyberg, you ain't even rolling. That must be awkward for you to tell so many lies about me, then have that happen to you. Also, I'd like to ask you one time respectfully, please take down the content you have posted defaming me. Defaming? You got to have fame to be defamed. And intentionally damaging my name and reputation. If you refuse to do so, I have to escalate that to a lawsuit, and I'd rather avoid that for both of us. Please remove those things and move on to a different topic. I can't have you or anyone else damaging my name and my business besides myself. Moneybird did all this to himself. He did all this to himself. Krikorian says, what should I do? This is about 4 days ago. Says, if he sues me, should I show up to court wearing his rash guard? God dog, man. Someone says, in all seriousness, Derek Moneyberg, Dale Buchowski? I can't say his real name. Dale Moneyberg did sue YouTuber Spencer Cornelia. Spencer fought it in court under Nevada's anti-slap law and won, but it took years and about $280,000. I can't afford that. I can't afford that $280,000. I can't even get $5 on my live stream. We can't afford that lawsuit. We can't afford that lawsuit on this live stream. I go bankrupt. All right, guys, live stream's canceled. We done. Said the lawsuits are not for free. He says, I don't know, but your GoFundMe will definitely cover the cost anyway. Yeah, I would have to get that GoFundMe up real fast. The case was dismissed. Krikorian says, can you get a black belt through lawsuit? Maybe. He will settle if you give him 3 stripes. Yeah. Says, you have to wear the Moneyberg rash guard next comp. How did they get the Moneyberg rash guard? I need one. So Kevon says, dang, he roasted you. Thanks, Kevon. I'm just kind of looking a little bit. Wojcik says, you made it, bro. The people stand with Keith. MacTube says, that song reminded me of the Kanye line from Forever, where he goes, you're such a, yeah, you're a loser, yeah. He didn't even go to class, Bueller. Yeah, I mean, Moneyberg. Let me avoid Moneyberg because I don't got the $280,000 for that lawsuit. Was there anything else I wanted to see? Abu Dhabi. I think Josiah mentioned this, but Abu Dhabi's gonna have $4 million for their World Pro in 2025. So I believe that's coming up. That's going to be split a couple different ways. You know, I'm not sure what the split is going to be. No comments yet. Wait a second. Yeah, I'm not sure what the split will be. Josiah says, I did. Yep, I remember, man. I remember. We got some old stories from yesterday, too. I'm just trying to get through as many stories as possible today. We got Helen. What up, Helen? How you doing, girl?
Brought back that middle school technique.
And Sarah, what up, Sarah? What's up, ladies? What's up? What's up, ladies? You know we support female wrestling, the women's wrestling over here. What's up? What's up, Helen? How you doing? How you doing, girl? Sarah, I saw you too over there, Sarah. I saw you. You know we gotta keep our eyes on what's going on over there. Dorothy Slipper says, I'm willing to pay $200 for a Money Berg t-shirt. He'll charge you $200 too. Just a little bit of women's wrestling that gets us through the day. It says Scramble brand just got 75K followers. That's crazy. Some of these brands, there's some individuals, athletes got more followers than that, but it's kind of hard to get followers nowadays. 75K. I bet you Ethan got more than 75K, right? No? Oh, he might not though. It doesn't really matter. He does have 75K. He got as many followers as Scramble, but it doesn't really matter that much. It's more about engagement, I think. MacTube says, I know it's funny, but if someone's talking about lawsuits, I'm just going to stop trolling. I'm not trying to pay all that money. Same here. Says, when you go hungry but have no food, so you got to act like TJ Dillashaw on his weight cut. Aw. LL Snap says, I need to do YouTube. I want you to do YouTube, but I'm afraid they're gonna kick you out of there, man. I'm afraid you're gonna, because there's some guidelines. There's YouTube content guidelines. I think you're gonna break all the guidelines. They're gonna they're gonna take you out. I see fighters like some of these older fighters like TJ Dillashaw and Cody. Those guys, I'm like, man, the UFC really did these guys dirty. The UFC has withheld so much money from those guys. They're over there killing themselves. Killing themselves for what, man? Where's Quan at? Quan, where you at? I gotta call Quan out whenever I talk about UFC. LL Snap says, Alec be a guest on my podcast. I'm gonna get canceled too. They're gonna take me out. Alec, we saw you on that other channel. We're gonna take your channel down now. This is a kid from BJJ college, Melky Gaval school, the big guy. Looked like he's good, but he just can't move. Dorothy Slipper says, women's wrestling also gets me through the night with the meat allure mat. What you cuddling with that meat allure mat? That's a big boy. Yeah, I'll have Mushmaster on. LL Snap says, I will have my wife stay in the background so I don't say nothing. Well, some of that stuff, I don't know if you want your wife. I don't know if you want your wife over there for the stuff we be talking about. MacTube says, for a sport that's not on TV, $4 million spread across is definitely a step in the right direction. Well, they got a ton of money over there in Abu Dhabi. That ain't nothing. That's their play money over there. They be doing some cool stuff out there. Yeah, I'm not sure what the breakdown is. But they have kids, they're gonna have masters, they have adult in all the divisions. So that money goes pretty fast, I think. LL Snap says, Rampage Jackson is worse than me. Are you sure? Nah, I don't know. It's that oil money. Yeah, they got that oil money. Mushmaster, you been out there before? Did you do World Pro and stuff? It's different out there, man. I don't know. It's different out there. We already saw that. It says essentials for your wrestling backpack. Let's see.
Yeah, bear what you need. Yeah, I am what you need. Yeah, bear what you need. Yeah, I am what you need. Yeah, bear what you need. Yeah, I am what you need. Yeah, bear what you need. Yeah, I am what you need. Yeah.
Mushmaster said, I got stories. Uh-oh. We know you and LOL Snap got some stories. Now, they not really PG-13. Well, LOL Snap stories ain't PG-13 or PG or anything. They rated R. MacTube says the song on TJ clip was low-key a banger fit. Yeah, it's good. It's a good song. I'm going to get hit with copyright later. I'll just have to edit it out. I'm just going through some stuff, man. We just going over a lot of stuff today. Who's this guy?
Everybody at the UFC level is skillful. Everybody has talent. And the one thing that most of them lack is the confidence to go for those all 5 rounds, especially in a championship fight.
With these elite athletes, you've had to deal with some serious egos.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to fire a client?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
From Olympic fields to world stages, Phil Daru, founder of Daru Strong, has trained champions and built resilience through science and discipline.
Get ready for game-changing insights on performance and...
I know he used to be the strength and conditioning coach for ATT or something.
Anxiety, you have to throw in the surroundings, and the best athletes, the most elite athletes, know how to block out the noise.
Where did you learn this? Did you learn it in school?
No, honestly,
I was gonna say that.
The thing with fighting, it's not like playing a sport like a football or baseball or something like that. It's so primal. It does take a shot to your ego. Most of the time, the reason why most fighters lose is because they lost. They lost right before they even got to the fight.
When you have certain fighters that lose, how do you take that?
I've been there. I've lost fights that I should have won.
What are some of the good habits and bad habits that you've seen with a lot of professional athletes?
Bad habits is...
Matt2 says, it's bad and you gotta lose weight when your opponent gotta pull your pants off. Well, thank God he pulled his pants up for everybody. My boy, my man Nolan got taken out.
Passagem a última, né, Vitor? Parecia dar o pé louro, né? Ele aceitou.
Exatamente.
E agora ele vem pra pegar.
Tá no Katagatame, montou, foi pro Katagatame, tá justo dando pressão. Bateu, hein, Vitor? Será que vai resistir?
Vamos ver como é que vai ser. Ai, bateu. Beleza.
Bravo. Olha, a atuação de gala do Riderzu que passou.
Science.
Rider ostentando seu troféu.
LOL Snap said science. Yeah, I don't know what his science is. I don't train with that guy. I don't know what his science is. Same thing. I don't know what training lab be doing over there. But all the best athletes at training lab, I don't know what they doing over there. We got Jason Rao. He says fake or real, banana peel off balance.
Partner will step a leg in the middle. I'm going to go shin to shin. Sometimes if I feel like he's really sitting his weight back, I'm going to put this second hook in. I just have to pull to off balance him. And now we can go to different options. A lot of times my partner will step a leg in the middle.
That's Tony's move. Let me see this, Tony. Tony, your homeboy stole your move, bro. They post that real fast. I forgot I could post. I said your homeboy stole your move. Tony, why your homeboy steal your move, Tony? The yoink. That's what Tony calls the yoink. He stole your move, Tony. Tony, you gonna let your homeboy Jason Rao steal your move? MacTube says might not want to add that Tylenol since we recently found out it leads to cancer. Is that true? Dorothy Slipper says this sounds like ChatGPT giving fight advice. Oh, the other guy? Yeah, I don't know. Do your research, everybody, before you start working with some of these people. Nah, we're skipping. I'm skipping a lot of stuff. I'm just trying to. These are all the stories from yesterday. Let's watch that again. That was pretty good.
Ela final e perder, falou que não faz mais GP. Opa! Olha o braço, hein? Vai levar, vai pegar? Pegou!
Uou! Você lembrou da luta com o clandestino, Vitor?
Incrível! Sensacional! Mehan Baquiné consegue o armlock espetacular, misericórdia! É muito talento, se embolou ali com o Gabriel Souza, viu a possibilidade de os 3 tapinhas. Olha a consciência corporal, a movimentação já fechando ali na axila, outro ângulo, passa a perna direita por cima, fecha ali o braço esquerdo do Gabriel na axila. Tentativa.
Shoot, it happened to the best of us, man. We all been caught with something we didn't see coming. LL Snap says, yeah, Tylenol at least. What? We got my hello Japanese. Konnichiwa. What's up, ladies? Listen, we support the ladies wrestling over here. Now, LL Snap might not. I think he's changing his tune now. But we support all the ladies wrestlers. All right, 62. Okay, hello. How you doing? Konnichiwa. 68. Okay, 68. 53. Hello. Oh, that's not. Who are you? She's from Ukraine. All right, we just checking in on them. Might lead to cancer. Wow, did not know that. We already saw that match. Dang, all right. Well, I don't really take Tylenol, so. Everything leads to cancer. LL Snap says, if you get sick, eat honey and garlic. Cap on what? Mushmaster? On the Tylenol stuff?
Zero, Gabriel Baby.
Pulmão e tudo.
Pegou.
Só falar uma particularidade rapidinho. Mesmo com o pé cruzado ali, é ponto. Esse é um diferencial. Tava olhando pra fora, o Mehan já trazendo pra dentro. Olha a briga lá. Né? Não conseguiu colocar o gancho, nem fechar o cadeado agora. Agora sim. Vamos esperar, ver se ele consegue estabilizar.
Yo, these Brazilians good, man. Let them learn some leg lock defense. That's it, man. What the Americans gonna do? I mean, the wrestling, they don't have the wrestling in Brazil, but let them learn some leg lock defense, man. The Brazilians good. They already got the passing and takedown, well, passing and guard play, you know. Mushmaster says Tylenol. Y'all listening to RFK Jr. who takes vitamins and can't bench 135. All right. I haven't done my research on that topic, so I don't know. I don't listen to too much RFJK though. I don't really, when he started taking that blue dye, that fish blue dye, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna listen to this guy. LL Snap says I support them, but this lady is busted. That's all good, man. Listen, it's all good, man. You Cuban, I know Cubans ain't that picky with their girls.
Mikey. Hey guys, it's Mikey. Today I just want to show my support for the Second Amendment, and I just want you guys to know that I'm always carrying Mikey.
That's your guys' favorite grappler? Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna say nothing. LL Snap says honey and garlic is full of antibodies. Oh, I didn't know that. I need some more garlic. I do love some garlic, bro. Ooh, some roasted garlic. I need to pick up some. I like onions too. Honey and garlic. You make it in a tea, or you just how you just eat them together? Raw garlic and honey. What kind of honey you using? Cuban honey? You got that Cuban honey? LL Snap says, like when I get a cut, I just take honey and rub it on it, and I go into the ocean. My man got the Cuban wisdom over there. We got homeboy, Dubious Dominique Bell with the little wrist lock or submission. It's kind of weird. Let's look at it.
Shoulder lock it. I did that at a seminar in Canada.
Your knee needs to be out. Yeah. And you're bringing that behind the back, and you can crawl your fingers on the back, like grab the material and start crawling it higher.
My right hand.
But you don't need it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like if you use this arm like underhook, like bring it across the body. I'm kind of stuck.
Okay. Wow, learn something new.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, Dom Bell. LL Snap says, man, I hate Portuguese. It's hood Spanish. I mean, yeah. You mean Portuguese? You mean Brazilian Portuguese or Portuguese Portuguese? Because it sounds different to me. MacTube says, as someone who's getting older and knees are starting to get sore, it's hard watching somebody's quick twitch movements. That's when you start doing old man jiu-jitsu. You can't use you're not dynamic no more. No more lateral movement. You know Helena be wearing all these outfits. Yeah, I don't know what to say. You guys, whatever you thinking, you keep it to yourselves. Dorothy Slipper says, what do you call a Cuban with a hot girlfriend? A Colombian. We got Mr. Mark Coleman. We just talked about Mark Coleman.
Tom Platts, leg day.
Oh, man, you crazy, bro.
Turn it up! The best version of yourself can get paid. So let's go cover that ass and test. Start today.
Mark Coleman, bro. Mark Coleman. You know he ain't got no hips, right? He's still working out hard. That's going to be LOL snapped in a couple years. Who let Mikey have a... No, nobody's going to let Mikey have a gun. He can't even see. He's going to shoot everybody up. Sorry, Mikey. I'm trying to be nice. All these guys trying to block their falls from the slams with their arms is making me cringe. Well, that you just gonna they're just gonna dislocate their elbow. Nothing serious. LO Snap says, I just eat honey and raw garlic. Get it over with. He says, no, we have our own honeybees on my ranch, bro. You living the life, man. We all jealous over here. we all jealous over here. We all jealous. We ain't got no honeybees over here. We ain't got no ranch. We ain't got no hot wives. We ain't got no Cuban experimental genes. We ain't got none of that. We just got regular degular over here, man. We regular degular over here. Jason Whitfield, what's up, man? He says, have you seen recent video of LOL Snap? He might look like Mark now. Maybe in the future. Mark Coleman, I mean, he's what? Is he 60 something? I don't know how old he is, but he's still kicking. MacTube says honey and garlic is not going to save you from cancer. Well, LOL Snap said it might. I don't know. The Cubans, I think the Cubans, don't the Cubans have a cure for lung cancer or something over there? What's the cure for it, honey? What's the that Cuban honey? Listen, MacTube, you need that Cuban honey, bro. Mark Coleman is 60. Well, I mean, he's a rough 60. He a rough 60, but he's still active. Now, your average 60-year-old don't look like him. He's still active. He be wrestling. He had a hard life, you know, all them fights and stuff. He had a hard life. LOL Snap, how you guys be curing cancer over there in Cuba? What's the secret? And how did they make you? How did they make you over there? Can you tell us the answer to that? How did they make you over there in Cuba? What's the secret over there, man? What? We got Shaq and Angel Reese. They're bringing Reebok back to popularity. LOL Snap says, I love Mark. LOL, he's my kind of guy. He was crazy back then and funny as heck. Yeah, he is funny. Just like you. LOL Snap, tell us the secrets over there in Cuba, man. Mushmash says that's some Dr. Sebi sign. Hey, yo, but that kind of work a little bit. Mushmash said, nah, give me the regular science with the chemicals in it. Give me the chemical. Give me the good chemicals. I want to see stuff die when they put it in. Yeah, we got Shaq and Angel Reese. She just put out some new shoes. They look pretty good, actually. I don't know if guys can wear them, but they seem pretty cool. You guys remember when Reebok used to sponsor the UFC? Remember those days? Jason Whitfield says, "Have you ever seen a Puerto Rican woman in a bikini? I was curious of all my elements. I was curious of all my I was cured of all my elements when I saw it. Okay, I need to see that too. I need to go to Puerto Rico. I need to go to Dominican Republic. I need to go to Jamaica. I need to go to where are you from, Josiah? Where are you from, Josiah? In the Caribbean? I need to go to Bahamas. We got to go a lot of places. Cuba? Can I go to Cuba too? Josiah, where are you from again? I can't remember where you're from. One of the islands. I can't remember the name of it. Mike 2 says, Mark Coleman saving his family from a fire will always be goated. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Like his mom and dad, I think. I don't think he got the dog though. Mushmaster says, I need that super soldier serum. That's what I'm trying to get from from LL Snap. I'm trying to learn the secrets. What kind of honey do I need for the secret for the super soldier serum? What kind of honey do we need for that? Grenada, yeah, Grenada. Anyway, Angel Reese's over here. She got, she all right.
You don't like you.
No, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, appreciate it.
I'm gonna be real. I want Reebok to just be on top. Like growing up, everybody always pushed like wear Nike, and they didn't really push wearing Reebok. I'm just excited. I just want everybody walking down the street in Reebok.
In a perfect world, say yes. Please say yes.
What is it?
In a perfect world, I would like you to debut them against Caitlin Clark.
Oh yeah.
I'll even come to the game.
Of course not. I'm trying to get all the baddies wearing Reebok. So let's do it.
That's how they do it at
No,
LSU?
you're wrong way.
You thirsty? You want something to drink?
Yeah, these shoes ain't bad. 120. They're not bad. I like the white ones. I think they're just for girls though. Can guys wear those shoes? It says unisex. Yeah, I like the white ones. Of course I can't. I like the white and black ones too. It says unisex on there. LOL Snap, if I get those shoes, are you gonna make fun of me? LOL Snap, if I get these Angel Reese's, are you gonna make fun of me? It says unisex, but I like the black and white ones. I wouldn't mind getting a pair to support the sister. The white one's got some glitter on there. I might not be able to wear that one. I do want to support the sister though. LL Snap says, if you have cancer, you're just dead. Okay. No, there's no super soldier serum to get rid of that. Uncle, Jesus. Okay, dang. God dog. Jason asks, was Josiah in the military, or was he a military baby? Dorothy Slipper says, are there any white people in this audience? I don't know. We don't look at race on here. Well, you guys are the only ones chatting, but there's people on the stream that aren't chatting. They're just watching. Yeah, there's other people watching the stream. They're just not chatting. So, I might get some Angel Reese's. You guys think I should get some Angel Reese's? I do like the taller girl. The taller girls, I do need to add some height to my family. We need some height over here. Actually, I'm the shortest person over here. Everybody else tall. All right, Angel Reese, you keep doing well. Go play basketball. Focus on basketball first. We got Mr. Jason Rowell again. He's gonna show us the Szynski style saddle entry.
Matej Szynski do this on Instagram as well as pulling me out, posted something recently. And when we bolo, we get to this like kind of crab ride style position. Once we're here, my partner starts to scoot away. My right ankle is going to slide down. Hips come up, knee comes inside, and we end up in saddle. So I saw Matej Szynski do this on Instagram as well as pulling me out, posted something recently. And when we bolo, we get to this like kind of crab ride style position. Once we're here, my partner starts to scoot away. My right ankle is going to slide down. Hips come up, knee comes inside, and we end up in saddle.
Dorothy Slippers says she's saving the world one shoe made by children in Singapore at a time. I mean, where's she going to make the shoes? Making them in America? I wish they would make the shoes in America, but you know what? They closed down all the factories back in the day. All the factories where they could make that stuff, they closed them all down when they outsourced it back in the 90s and earlier, or the 2000s. Yeah, they outsourced all that stuff. All them factories, they sit in abandoned basically. Suspend the day with OSU wrestling. I think you guys spent a lot of money. How much does that cost? Man, don't let me get some money. I'll be over there, not Penn State. I'll be at OSU. I'll be over there at where else would I be? Definitely some other stuff. How much does this cost? You know you got down. Oh, there you go. There we go. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. Guys, you want to help me raise $1,000 so I can go? It says to attend this event, there is a required minimum gift of $1,000 to the Cowboy Wrestling Program. Dang. Can you guys even see that? There you go. We not making that much money on this live stream yet. We can't go. Yeah, I can't. You got a minimum gift. Not a maximum gift, a minimum gift. All right, Alec. We know we said $1,000, but we're gonna need $5,000 from you now. We're gonna need $5,000 from you. Don't they got millionaire sponsors over there? Don't they got the dude that owns Oklahoma over there? What my $1,000 gonna do? My $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. That ain't gonna really do much. That might be kind of cool though. I can't go that. Oh, it's next week. Shoot, I wish I had the money. I would go. We can't go. Maybe next year. What do you think about Barambolos? Shoot, it's just a normal position, bro. It's a normal. That's like asking me about De La Riva or X Guard or something. This is a normal position. You better know how to do it. Now, if you're older, you don't need to do it. But if you're younger, you trying to compete or something, you better learn the Barambolo. Sarah Galval was doing some work.
So very strong.
Yeah,
that's
right.
right.
But again, it's same thing. Like Mika competing on many
look.
years. It's the road to Latine.
That's cool.
Little guillotine
Great.
attempt at the end there, and
Great
that is
jiu-jitsu.
it. Sarah Galval.
Sarah, why didn't you do that to Helena though? You didn't do none of that to Helena.
She's also very strong.
Yeah,
that's
right.
right.
But again, it's same thing. Like Mika competing on many
look.
years. It's the road to Latine.
That's cool.
Little guillotine
Great.
attempt at the end there, and
Great
that is
jiu-jitsu.
it. Sarah Galval on 3 hours' notice.
She did good though. She did good. Where's LOL Snap? LOL Snap said that Greco was boring, but man, Greco's amazing. Greco hard, man. Greco. You know, I'll try freestyle, I'll try folk style, but Greco, man, you know, I just can't do it. I can't take them falls like that. I'll be injured. Hey. I think we got some more Greco on here too. We talked about Ben Kuzel. Look at his homeboys getting him up that slide over here, man. That's awesome. Again, Ben Kuzel's, he's paralyzed in his legs now.
Win with us or watch us win. That's why I'm grateful for anything and everything. That's why I'm grateful for anything and everything. Oh Lord, I'm grateful for anything and everything.
You got some good boys, man. Some good guys with them. So you know he can't use his legs, so he needs help to, you know, do a lot of stuff. But he's living a good life. MacTube says Mateus might be my favorite leg locker. He's deadly AF. I haven't studied him too much. I mean, you put an Eastern European person on your legs, they're gonna tear it off. I mean, mute your copyrights. What do you mean? Yeah, I do that when I post. Well, I can't mute it now, but later on I can mute it, or they can actually erase some of the music. The thing is, I don't know when the music's gonna be on here. Like I'm here. Oh, there's music. What I have to do later is take it out. So it depends. It depends. Sometimes, and you know what? That label, sometimes if the label don't want you using that music, they can give you a copyright strike. So if you get a copyright strike, you know, a couple of those, your channel's out. So that's why that's why you can't do YouTube. They're gonna give you copyright strikes left and right for infractions on the guidelines, the community guidelines. LL Snap, they're gonna get you as soon as you open your mouth. LL Snap says, what's the point of taking this man down the slide? He can't feel. Yeah, he can. He can still enjoy it. He's still living his life, man. And something else you guys will see, a lot of times I'll mute the song too. Dorothy Slipper says, Princeton Wrestling has the best YouTube channel in the game. I watch that and get ready for cauliflower ear. Is it tied to Princeton University? Because I know Nate Jackson's over there. Is he on the YouTube? I never heard of Princeton grappling or Princeton Wrestling over there. YouTube channel. Shoot, how many tabs I got open? Let's get out of here. I don't care about Dubai like that. We got Miss Amit. She's shaking that baby up. That baby all shook up. That baby all shook up. That baby all shook up. I wonder what that baby gonna look like. I wonder what that baby gonna look like. I'm hoping, healthy baby. LL Snap says, if I become crippled, I hope to God I can't say what he's saying. LL Snap, they won't let you have YouTube, bro. I can already tell you that. They're gonna take that YouTube channel down. Someone says, just rolled with the judo black belt for the first time. Dude, it felt like I was drowning. This guy has been training for BJJ for 3 months. That sounds like LL Snapped. And he whooped my behind for 5 minutes and almost put me to sleep. It was awesome. Super nice dude. You know, people on Reddit, they not good at grappling. Someone says, I'm an older judo guy, black belt in it. I'm also a jiu-jitsu guy, black belt in that too. When I roll with BJJ guys in BJJ class, I'm known as the judo guy. And when I randori with the judoka in judo class, I'm known as the jiu-jitsu guy. He says, I view them both as the same art, just different sport rule sets. Good fun. Even at my BJJ level, everyone at judo seems to know I do it and look at me a bit different. A little BJJ has gone a long way for my judo Nawaza. Mac Tube says, I wonder if anyone has ever pulled off a berimbolo in a street fight. Probably in Brazil somewhere. I suggest you guys cross train. Go do some wrestling. Go do some judo. Go do some no-gi. Do the gi. Do everything. Says we have a judo guy who just missed out on an Olympic place in the Neil Adams era. He's a brown belt with us. He says he only does judo whatever anyone else is doing. Absolute machine. For BJJ guys, judo is like send him to Dagestan for 2 years and forget. The athleticism, base, and monkey strength built from that is another level. Too bad not more people see them almost complete overlap. Well, because we ain't got access to the judo programs. Dorothy says, yeah, Princeton Tigers University wrestling team does vlogs of their entire season. Oh, that's cool. Might check that out. Was it Ed Roof? Edward Roof? Who's over there or was over there? I don't know if he's at Princeton. It might be somebody else. LL Snap says, they call where I train in the gym the dungeon. And that's where everyone wants to go. That's where they go for their punishment, the dungeon. Someone says, I know we like to poke fun at their limited ground skills, but what they lack in refined ground skills or ground techniques, judokas make up for pressure and pins. I have been on the receiving end of some truly suffocating pins. You know them judo people be heavy, bro. I never seen such big people. You know, you be seeing some human beings. You be seeing some different human beings when you go to judo class. They be huge. Like, how do they get? Where do they find you? Everybody in judo be huge and heavy. Someone says, BJJ guys pin to control before attacking a sub. Judo guys pin to hold indefinitely and squeeze the life out of you. The two do not feel the same. Yeah, we're not trying to tire ourselves pinning you in jiu-jitsu. We're trying to get some submissions or rest or something. Another person says, I tend to pin to burn my opponent's gas tank. Ideally, I focus on preventing good breathing and making it uncomfortable. Also, I want them to struggle so it feels like they are simply taking a nap. I will do one of two things. Either make it more uncomfortable, or I'll allow some energy openings, or I'll allow some high energy openings when they need to bridge and explode to escape, but only enough that they attempt it before I shut it down. Eventually, you can feel that their will to escape is less, and then the sub hunt begins. Someone says, I never felt so helpless on bottom. My coach is nice enough to let me escape when I roll with him, but this guy straight up never even lets me smell and escape. It says, also arm bars. I immediately learned how to recover fast after being thrown or risk getting arm barred as soon as I hit the mat. Judo people got good arm bars and jumping, flying submissions. It says, even as a decent wrestler who rarely has anyone in BJJ put me on my back, if I don't want to be there, feeling that top pressure from a skilled judoka was new to me. They plant their feet over you and it's like trying to grapple a tree planted over you with your legs trying to move it and turn. Judo people, they be holding. LO Snap says, those judo people are crazy. It says, wait until you roll with the young U.S. Olympic team judoka and BJJ black belt, FML. Yes, you, Lakea, if you were out there. I know Lakea, too. Someone says, yeah, I rolled with Lakea one time in Orlando when I was a fresh blue belt. Lakea is good. And I consider Lakea to be a jiu-jitsu person. I consider him more jiu-jitsu than judo. But he's super strong. For his size, it makes no sense. Says, dude throws up from the guillotine. Guys, if you're eating lunch, I'm sorry. Go ahead and turn the screen off. I'll wait a second or two. If you're eating lunch or thinking about eating lunch in a little bit, don't watch the video. MacTube says, girl, you better stop those drills before your baby comes out. that baby already half Brazilian. He's going to be a little wild anyway. What did they call Mika when he was a baby? They called him something. The Terrorizer, the Punisher, something. They called him something because he was bullying everybody. The bully. That kid, I'm praying for that kid. All right, everybody, I'm gonna click on the video. If you eating, I'm sorry. I told you. Spoiler alert. How do I do something on here? I'm not looking for gold on here. How do I get this out of here? Can I get that? Okay. All right, here we go. Let's do it.
Hips up, hip into him, hips up. You got to bite, Lucas. Squeeze your left elbow to the ground. There you go, boy. Yeah, whoa.
God, dog. Oof. That wasn't too bad. That was pretty bad though. I never seen someone throw up in a choke.
Hips up.
Nah, we're not watching that again. Let's not watch that again. It says the way he shrimped away from the barf. If ever there was a practical time to shrimp, this was it. I was surprised how long he continued to lay down next to the barf. I would have been upright. Well, the barf was on him. He didn't want to move. He didn't know where the barf was. LL Snap says Hector Lombard was the worst judo experience I have ever had in my life. That man threw me one time. I started seeing stars. Well, that's the whole point of judo. They hit you with the earth. And you know what? They fall on top of you too. That's the worst thing. Not only do they throw you, they fall on you, break your ribs, knock you out, break your ribs. That's terrible. Yeah, judo rough, man. He tossed you, man. I definitely ain't standing up with him. What did he catch you with? Osoto Harai or something? Or the hip throw? Something. Says that was no barf. That was 98% Monster, 1% creatine, and 1% acai. Says my coach before my first competition, just relax and have fun. What's the worst that can happen? And then that happens. MacTube says, you notice how all these guys rolling with girls always let themselves get triangle. I mean, that's part of the game. they just when you roll with the girl, I mean, be respectful, but you know the girls, they throw that triangle up quick, and you guys be just roll. You just have your arm and your head together. You just jump into the triangle. But some of the girls, don't underestimate those girls, bro. I be rolling with girls. They be choking me out, kicking me, punching me. I'm like, oh, God, dog. Ah. LL Snap says, it was in the gi. That was the last time you put a gi on. Mushmaster says, judo and boxing is the ultimate street fight skill set. I might have to agree with that. LL Snap says, if you get triangle, make sure you stick your tongue out. Well, LL Snap, oh, God, LL Snap. Don't do what he's doing, everybody. Don't do what he's doing. You can't get away with that. You're not a Cuban-Russian experiment. You can't get away with what he's getting away with. How do I get rid of this thing at the bottom? Shoot, my bad. What the heck is that? Oh, that's from before. Where the heck are we? It says real reaction. Real jiu-jitsu in action. Probably took too much pre-workout before the match. Spent all morning in the sun and rehydrated on pre. Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened. Kind of gross, though. LL Snap says, they really do send us to Russia once we become of age. Is that, what do they do to you in Russia, man? The Weapon X program. Got you some new bones. What's that bone? What's the metal? It's not vibranium. What is it? What does Wolverine have in his bones? I don't want to watch this, girl. Sorry. He tells your whole life story. Listen to Yo Romero podcast with Joe Rogan or Joey Diaz. He tells your whole life story. What is that? What's the metal that Wolverine has? Somebody let me know. I can't remember right now.
Yeah. Oh,
beautiful back take.
So beautiful
Yes.
back take.
Adamantium. Yeah, adamantium.
Yeah. Oh,
beautiful back
so beautiful.
Adamantium. Thank you, guys. LO Snap said it's cold over there. I know you got some girls over there, too. I know you got some girls. How many? Yeah, you definitely had some girls over there. A Lesson in Arrogance by Keith Kokorian. Arrogance is not confidence. Okay. Friendship outweighs paid partnerships. You can't hide from what you have done and what you have not done. There's no shortcuts. Follow for more. All right, cool. MacTube says, that's why you never eat before a match. Yeah, that's true. Well, you can eat a little bit, but don't eat too much. Need something easily digestible.
They go for a secondary point.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Corbin on a nice attack there.
Yes.
Dang, that might be it.
That's a good attack. He looks like. And Corbin Laporte has submitted Pavel Javorsky.
Don't get any primary points. They go.
That's not the guy at B Team, is it? That guy? Isn't that the same guy? Or is it another guy that looks like him? Is there a guy at B Team that looks like him? LOL Snap says, growing up in the pyramids is rough. Everyone's after you because if you're the number one wrestler, everyone wants your spot. So if you're hurt, you have to hide that you're hurt or they will go after it. Someone says, LOL Snap was at Lloyd Irvin's. I don't think he was there. He might have taken everybody out. He says, no, I didn't see any women when I was there. We stayed in the building other than to run and do the ice stuff. They knew not to let you out. They didn't want the Cuban genes to get out. MacTube says the The throw up the fence is a great way to break a submission hold. Yeah, well, technically that's a medical forfeiture. If you throw up or something like that, you medically forfeited. Is this the guy that trains the B team? Yeah, he's a Pro Bowl. Yeah, that big guy. What the heck? Look at this guy.
Oh, you're not going to the gym today? Oh, you a little sore, a little tired? Well, guess who else is tired? I am. And I'm still going. Now watch this.
Wow, he can do a split? That ain't fair. Nah, he's not super explosive, but he looks strong and he's flexible. That ain't fair. LL Snap says, if you're going against a girl in a match, you eat during the match if you get stuck and try. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. This guy's pretty good. He beat Pavel. Do they train together or something?
For a secondary point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Corbin on a nice attack there.
Yes.
That's a good attack. He looks like. And Corbin Laporte has submitted.
They're doing this weird grip, you know. It's not a grip I like to use. You see this grip they're using? I mean, it's not a weird grip. It's just kind of like an old school grip. Yeah, he locked onto that. Yeah, I think you kind of cooked when they got that good angle on your foot. Yeah, I think you cooked. I'm not sure what the defense for that when they get that on you. And you know who was doing that before all these guys? Kavaka. Kavaka was doing that way before these guys. LL Snap says, if you're going to get, don't. Much Master says, what do you mean, Dorothy Slippers? I don't know. I guess he was implying that LL Snap should have trained at Lloyd Irvin's or something. LL Snap might have hurt some people over there. We got Shigashi over here.
What's going on, guys? Up for sale is my 4-bedroom, 2-bath investment property. Let's check out the lower level. That's its own separate entrance. I Airbnb'd it. Costs about $2,000 to $4,000 a month. Check it out. All right, come check out the first floor with me. First level. As you can tell, we have the living room, dining room, kitchen, all in one package. It's on the first floor, meet you out in the backyard. Alright, we have this beautiful yard, kind of sloped over here. The property goes all the way up to the street up there. I used to make vegetables down here. Right, it's like a nice little flat patch. We got my favorite flower, hibiscus tree. Beautiful. And I'll meet you guys upstairs where the bedrooms are. Alright, so the 3 bedrooms up here, nice and airy, facing southeast. This is 21 South Washington Avenue in Hartsville, New York. Check that out, nice and beautiful. 4-bedroom, 2-bath, $599,000.
Yo, how many houses he got? He got some money too. Some of these guys be rich, you know. You got LOL Snap, he rich. Shigashi over there, rich. Shigashi, whatever his name is, Shintaro Higashi. He got money too. He said, that's one of my houses. These guys got money. Jason Whitfield says, it looks like they're reversing their hand positioning from the original line. I think they're just doing a shotgun grip. I could be wrong though. LL Snap says, I'm going to take Josiah under my wing. Come stay over here for 6 months and everyone forget about him. He's going to come back getting stuck in triangles on purpose. Shintaro rich, bro. That's the only way you can afford to do judo right now. You got to be rich. Cuz you know in judo you got to travel internationally. You got to go train in Japan, maybe hit up France. You got to do the international tournaments. And it doesn't seem like USA Judo really giving you money. You got to be rich. Jason Whitfield says, I saw him doing the shotgun grip, but it looked like hand positioning was reversed. I'm not going to look back. I'm not going to look back. I believe it's the Wojcik kind of family of leg locks. I don't know. We've been looking at a little bit of Greco. Cuba, no, Cuba, no. Cuba, no, Cuba. What happened to Cuba? I don't know about that position. Cuba, LOL Snap. What's happening to Cuba over here? He said he probably does real estate. The real estate's okay, but he said he owns a lot of houses. I don't know what he does. I thought he just did judo, but apparently he making money from real estate over there. What does he do? Let me go to his page. Andres, Andres been ecological lately.
These are 4 games you can play to understand the seated and supine engagement. These games are going to scale in complexity. So we start from a game with low complexity and it gradually gets more and more complex. Hey guys, these are 4 games you can play to understand the seated. So we're going to just play push, pull, pin. I have to be on my feet and use my push and pulls to get him on his back. The other thing I can look to do is pin his head. If I pin his head, I can win by locking my hands in a front headlock, or if I can't do that, circle chest to back. What is the goal of the bottom person? You are just looking to stay seated in denied condition. Okay, trying to not let him touch us. All of his winning conditions are based off of his hands. If I can control his hands, it's going to be hard for him to win. As the bottom person, you will absolutely lose in this game because there's not much we can do. We can't connect to the legs, we can't go supine. So losing in this game is totally normal. It's to be expected, okay? As long as we're intentional on bottom, looking to cut angles, looking to fight the hands, we're winning, okay? So we're gonna just play now. As the person standing, you still win if you pin their back to the mat. Guys, let's not focus on long stepping out and creating chest-to-chest contact for this one, okay? I want you to stay in front of them, put their back on the mat to win. If he can pin my head and circle chest to back, that is also a win. A front headlock's not a win. If you get a front headlock, you gotta find a way to finish with this. Now what am I looking to do? Same behavior, fighting the hands, but now I win if I can wrestle up and put him down. Now if I wrestle up and he has a front headlock, we keep going. If I put him down and he still has the neck, we keep going. I have to become top player and remove my neck from anything he has on it. Okay? Display the same behaviors of the previous game. Look to fight the hands, get the hands out of the ways that leads to the legs. Whether we're standing or we're on the ground, all of these concepts are.
Shout out to Andres. I'm not the biggest fan of games. I don't really want to play games when I go to train. Is that just me? I don't want to play no games. I want to do what I want to do. I got stuff to focus on. But I understand for newer people, they might need, Josiah. People like Josiah, they're gonna need those games to stay, motivated. But for me, I'm like, bro, I know what I want to work on. I don't need the game. I know exactly what I need to do. Let me go do what I need to do. Much Master said, I just want to drill my technique and randori. Listen, I don't want to play the games. I know some people love, wrestlers love games. Wrestlers love games. I'm not sure about judoka. But man, I'm coming to train, man. Let me just do what I need to do. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to work on. I don't need to waste the whole time playing that game. I'm kind of with Mushmaster on that. He says at least positional randori. Oh yeah, but they try to make you play 4 different games. You're like, nah, I'm okay. Let me just work this position. I know what I want to need. I know. Josiah says I know you love games, Josiah. I know you do. I know you do, bro. I know you do. Jason says, I miss the days when jiu-jitsu guys were like, see arm, break arm. Everybody trying to be a scholar nowadays. Give me Carlson Gracie jiu-jitsu anyway. Well, go down to Fight Sports. You get Carlson Gracie jiu-jitsu right there in its purest form. Now, you might not be able to walk when you come back. You're not going to be able to walk. You're going to be paralyzed after that. Ecological sounds too confusing. It is. Mush Smasher says, most of those games aren't applicable to what I do. He says, what happened to mastering technique? Yeah. let me just drill. Can I drill the one move? Let me just drill one move. Can I drill one move and figure that out? Can I just drill one move? Shout out to my man Mike at Rampart. Wendy actually sent me this. I'll play it for you, Mike, if you're here watching the video. Let me go, Big Alec. My man was watching the live stream. He working out. He doing his cardio. Look at that. That's awesome. Shout out to Mike, man. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to Becca, too. I be watching her posts. Thank you, Wendy, for sending that to me. I'll say thanks for sharing. Mike, man. LOL Snap says, Dorothy, I don't take anything personally. He says, I want to strengthen my Tai Otoshi. I doubt ecological will help with judo. Have you ever seen ecological takedowns? They terrible. Apparently, you got to drill your takedowns to be worth anything. Apparently, you got to drill that thing. You got to drill those takedowns. You can't ecologically figure out the takedown. Especially in judo, you get tossed, that's it. You done. Oh, you guys can't even see him. My bad.
Everything in the world move forward, but in my village, everything move, backward. Nothing going forward. Nothing changed. What I receive, I can share with more people. I'm not the only one. Like, we can do more. I have to do more.
Look around you. There is nothing.
It's cool that the UFC, the UFC is going to open up a performance institute in Africa. They have one in China, one in Mexico. That is cool. On the flip side, I see when they get these fighters from different parts of the world, they're going to be paying them less. If you take someone from Africa, you take someone from Mexico, you take someone from China, you pay them 10 and 10, they're going to be happy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dana. We love you, Dana. Now, if you're in America, that 10 and 10, what you going to do with 10 and 10? You ain't going to do 12 or 12, 15, 15. What you going to do with 15 and 15? You ain't going to do nothing with 15 and 15. You're going to have to be driving for DoorDash or Uber or something. Like, man, you're not 15 and 15. So yeah, I'm seeing kind of long term, they're going to have those fighters from those, those developing countries. They're going to underpay them, for sure. And them fighters going to fight hard. The people from Mexico and Africa, they're going to fight hard. They're going to fight harder than you for the 10 and 10. They might undercut you. All right, Dana, I'll fight for 5 and 5. I'll fight for 1 and 1. So we'll see. 15 and 15, I'm paying my child support. Inside leg trip. This is the move that Helen used to win at Worlds.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna go club with that side. Underhook. Yep, good. And then just make sure that's nice and shallow. There you go. Don't move your lead foot. Bring her towards me. Good. Back step. And throw your arm as you trip. This arm is gonna release. This one just goes high but stays inside. Yep. Over the top. Yep. Nice. Good job. Yep. Over the top. Yep. Nice. Good job. Yay! Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Good job. Mm-hmm. Yes. Top. Yep. Nice. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go club with that side. Underhook. Yep, good. And then
because he wrestled, bro.
There you go. Don't move your lead foot. Bring her.
Dorothy Slipper says DeAndre Corby's ecological takedowns look good because he wrestled, bro. He wrestled. That's why his takedowns look good. Now, show me a pure ecological person. Ochigari. Is that Ochigari? Yeah, I guess you're right, Ochi. Show me a pure ecological person with good takedowns. I'm waiting. Corby bros, they wrestled, they trained for a long time before they got the Greg Souders, I believe. Mac Tube says, just to clarify, they're saying Tylenol might cause autism, not cancer. Well, thanks. Great. Now we got cancer and autism. What could be worse? Knock on wood. You guys know Ono gonna be wrestling this year or next year, so we'll see how he does. I kind of wish he did the World Championships, but we'll see. Yeah, they're gonna be wrestling for Penetration State. Penetration State College. You know, hello, what's up? What's up, Fionn? How you doing?
Throw! Faster, God!
Who was that in the corner?
No.
Who was that?
Oh, yes! He's gone! No, man, I can't! Oh, man, I'm gonna bully everybody now! Yes! He does, I'm tiny. It's okay. I was like, you're not I can be like, yeah. Thank you guys, you
got Shout out to them. Arma doing good. I might need to drop in an Arma BJJ. Can I, Fionn, can I get a private listen? Respectfully. Rosinski's at 240K. All right, Rosinski. You know, he got all Europe behind him. Oh, it says Brazil. Never mind. Europe. Where's Europe at? Poland is 8%. UK 5.4. Japan 2.5. US 21.6. And Brazil's loving him. I was wrong. I was like Europe is behind him. Nope. We got some more wrestling. More Greco. Oh, my neck. They over here slamming each other's head into the floor. God, dog. He got the rudest socks on, too. Greco tough, man. I don't care what LOL Snap said. Greco tough. Now, they might not have the same access to the athletes like freestyle, but Greco's tough, man. Greco tough, man. And it might be more useful in MMA than freestyle. Says Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis, gonna be making $200 million. UFC ain't never gonna pay a fighter $200 million. They don't want to. Dana White he gonna make sure he gonna put a hit out on you if you ever ask him for $200 million or kick you out of UFC. But Tank Davis might get that $200 million, so I'm hoping he does. That'll be a good little retirement. You know, he get the private jet, get the mansion. He good. Now, I wouldn't spend any money. I would just save my money at that point. But you know, I'm not making that kind of money. If I did, you will see. You know, you might change. I might be a completely different person. I might be acting like Craig Jones on here. Get me $200 million. I'm going crazy, flying all over the place. I might become Kanye West, minus the talent and the anti-Semitism. We don't need that. We got Mackenzie Dern. LO Snap, did you get in there? Were you in there too?
There it is. There it is. She's going to break that grip of Rivas. Short time on the clock. Punching her in the face will do it. She's going to slit it. Referee in the waning seconds. What a finish. Mackenzie Dern. Submission. For her to get that win back. That was Jiu-Jitsu 101. The basics done to an incredibly high level. She gives it up, goes to mount, and then creates the setup by punching first. Very tight on the technique.
I know some of you guys like Mackenzie. Mushmaster said, I'd move to Japan. Yeah, nobody would know you in Japan. Well, some of the jiu-jitsu people would, but you could go in a little town in Japan or even just Tokyo. Nobody would know you in Tokyo. They don't know you got $200 million over there in Tokyo. You live a good life. You can live a good life in anywhere, really, outside America. Listen, you go to Tokyo, you go to Thailand, you go to the Philippines, you could go to Africa, you go to Europe. They wouldn't know who you are. You go to Brazil, well, they might know you in Brazil. You can go just about anywhere. They wouldn't know who you were. They don't know. You can't tell if somebody has $200 million. If they don't show you, they got all these cars and stuff, you don't know. Jason Whitfield says, that's how J Flow jacked his neck up in the finals of the U.S. Nationals for judo. He bounced off his neck to avoid the throw. Instead of landing on his back, he decided to land on his neck. Sounds logical. Well, you know, when you're young and you got the dream of going to the Olympics, you're not thinking straight. You just thinking, I can't lose. I worked too hard to lose. Not realizing that there's going to be more Olympic trials. Just wait 4 years. You can do the next Olympic trials. He says $200 million. I'm buying property in Colombia. You might be able to buy. Well, you can't buy the whole of Colombia, but you could buy several acreage. You could buy several acreage here in America. You got enough money to immigrate to a new country, New Zealand, Australia. You can go wherever you want. You can have houses wherever you want. $200 million. Let me get $200 million. I'll let you guys know what I do with it. Oh, that's Harrison. Let's. Is it in Portuguese?
2-8. Ele é muito bom.
All right, we're gonna skip the Portuguese. There's Landon. Josiah loves him, Landon. That's his replacement for who we cannot name anymore.
A lot of stakes, and it does feel like pressure from people who we've interviewed. So what did it feel like for your experience the first time?
It just felt like any other like tournament to me. Like as far as being nervous goes, like I don't really like hype things up in my own head. Like, oh my gosh, this is a PGF qualifier, or oh my gosh, this is the 8060 Open. So like the first one was in Alabama. That was a sick experience. I more just see like the excitement in it rather than like being nervous about losing. So to me, it was just a cool experience.
There is a lot of stakes, and it does feel like pressure from people who we've interviewed. So what did it feel like for your experience the first time?
It just felt like any other like tournament to me. Like as far as being nervous goes, like I don't really like hype things up in my own head. Like, oh my gosh, this is a PGF qualifier, or oh my gosh, this is the 8060 Open. So like the first one was in Alabama. That was a sick experience.
Shout out to Grappling Hour, Raph. What's going on, Raph? I saw him at CGI. You're doing some good work over there. This, you know, you guys think you're gonna roll girls and beat them up, but man, these girls gonna beat you guys up.
2.5 minutes remaining. 2.5.
Finally come climb like, oh, she's got a little carrying that scenario going. Stay standing. You see it.
I was gonna say, what's the thing?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well done. That was awesome.
Começando a guarda fechada, nosso oponente sentir o perigo, causa a guarda fechada.
Them girls gonna be tapping you guys out. Shout out to the Meow Bros. I've been up there to Studio 76, or not Studio 76, Studio 1908, or just yes. That was a nice submission. We're not gonna watch that anymore though. We got about 30 more minutes. I'm trying to knock out these tabs for my own good. Street X.
Oh.
Nigga, Dick Ryan. Hoes, bitches. Fuck.
The cunt's selling out with a Street X kit, and this is what he does to half bottles of fucking tequila and fucking a half-eaten burger that you wouldn't give to your fucking dog. It's fucking sad news.
You know they had fun on that trip. How was Meow Bros Dojo? It was fun. Go check it out if you're in Jersey City, New Jersey. It was fun. Street X, that was cool. Rosinski got some rock and roll tape. All right, how much is that going for? Purple tape? Okay, that sounds cool. We're going through stories, bro. Listen. I'm so far behind. We're just going through stories. Bodega's going to be having Miha? Not Miha. What? What's the guy's that said Miha? Dima. Different German, Russian person. Dima, not Miha. Dima. He's going to be at Bodega Jiu-Jitsu October 8th and 9th. It was a week or two from now. $100 for what? I'm sorry. Let me be on my best behavior. Dima is coming to Bodega. All right, Josiah, you going to be there? Says, don't miss this one. Going to be running 2 night sessions in 1 morning. Dima has coached at CJIB team and ADCC to name some. What is he going to show, though? All right, you guys go pay the $100 for that. I'm skipping that. Nothing feels better than knocking out these little tabs. You guys, can I scroll up so you can see the tabs? Oh, you guys can't even see the tab. That's fine. I like it where you can't see the tab because I got a ton of tabs. It says Bo Nickel will face Rodolfo Vieira November 15th. That's the same day as ADCC trials in Jersey Open. At UFC 322 in New York. Or is it going to be New Jersey or New York? The Prudential Center is definitely not New York. I'm going Rodolfo Vieira. Who you guys got? Who you guys? Well, Bo Nickel just lost his last match, and Rodolfo just won his last. So, this is a classic matchup of jiu-jitsu versus wrestling. I'm hoping they don't just end up striking each other, like kicking and punching. I want to see some grappling. My only thing is Rodolfo's been out the game for a long time, so he ain't the same Rodolfo Vieira from back in the day. And he's not really a no-gi guy. He never was a really good no-gi grappler. Says the most dangerous career-ending arm drag. Rodolfo by arm triangle, possibly. I've done a good job avoiding this arm drag, but some of you guys have been getting caught by this. This arm drag has got you guys on the ropes. LOL Snap couldn't avoid this. LOL Snap was looking for this arm drag. That's the arm drag that got him to safety and prosperity over here in America. My chair sucks. It's hard, but it's stable. Yeah. It says a moment of silence for our fallen brethren. Dorothy Slipper says, does Dima know jiu-jitsu? I don't know what he does. He knows something, right? He trains. I believe he has a school in Germany or something, right? Berlin? No? Says the thing is, the love of a good woman will enrich your life much more than any martial arts ever will. But the other thing is, your gym will never dump you and break your heart because it feels unfulfilled. Oh, that's true. And the right partner will encourage you to keep training. Let that be a lesson for you guys. This is where all the blue belts are. Yeah. Someone says it's been 3 months since we got married. I gained 20 pounds and haven't been back to the gym. Oh no. Guys, don't quit all your hobbies when you get married. He has the better leverage with the grip. Drag her down. Jason Whitfield says, Jocko spoke a while back about female jiu-jitsu world champion visiting. They were about to spar. He was like, I better be on my egg. Jocko, no, Jocko, you too big. And after the first 30 seconds, he was like, she can't do anything to me. Jocko, huge. Most grapplers can't do anything to Jocko. LOL Snap? No, LOL Snap. Why are you still training then? You ain't quit. You ain't quit nothing yet. Jocko, big guy. He been training for 20, 30, almost 30 years. He a big guy. Of course, the girl is partly small. He trying to, I better be on my A game. No, Jocko. You don't need to be on your A game to roll with a smaller lady. We had Joseph Chin over there with Marcelo. Hey, look at that. Joseph got put the work. Look at Marcelo. Marcelo definitely took Joseph Chin's lunch. Look at Joseph Chin. Joseph's like, well, I didn't do much. LL Snap says, I'm immune to fun times. That's the benefit of being okay. I can't say nothing he's saying. But look at Joseph Chin, man. I hope he rolled with Marcelo. They didn't even tie their belts. Why are you taking a picture with Marcelo? You didn't even tie your belt. He says, yo, I need to see MG versus Chin roll. Marcelo looks like he didn't even roll when Chin looks like he has been through some wars. Joseph looking like Marcelo stole all his European handbags. Why Joseph got so many bags? He be wasting all his money. He already wasted all his money on them bags. You only need 1 or 2 bags. You don't need a 50 million bags. It says when you get stuck in closed garb, but remember the instructional you watched earlier. No. He's got book bags. He got book bags. And maybe what's the thing that goes around your back, your shoulder bag? They different over there. I think we saw this one already. Yeah, we saw that already. Shaq be thirsty too. Shaq about as thirsty as LOL Snapped is. We watched this yesterday. We'll watch it again. Ben Henderson getting choked out.
Counting him out.
Nice
Now,
transition
that's
to the
very
other
good
side.
now.
Yeah.
I think this is the best attack he's got.
Very.
Again, look how calm Benson is.
Yeah, it looks very tight.
But it's very tight.
He's asleep. He's asleep. He's asleep.
A little snap. Jason says over in Europe they call European sacks. They're called Europeans. Okay. I never heard that term, but maybe you're right. I don't know. I don't know everything. We've got the AOJ kids. These AOJ kids be drilling. And give them about 10 years. You're going to hear their names. You're hearing their names now. These kids be drilling everything. They be drilling more advanced stuff than I ever saw coming up. And I mean, they got the best coaches in the world, too. The best coaches, all the resources in the world, best facilities. They got everything. That was a nice arm drag. The Kimura trap rollover, yeah. Now, their wrestling is not good, but, you know, it's good enough for jiu-jitsu. And they drill better than ecological people. LL Snap says, my wife is mad at you, by the way, for teaching me what the... That's not my fault. She should have told you that. Talking about the goat of jiu-jitsu, look at Hodger over here doing good for himself. We all jealous. Put a 1 in the chat if you jealous. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you jealous like me. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Dorothy's Lip says, nah, Joseph's bag game fire. He likes those ladies that collect cans from my recycling. He might have an issue though. Have you guys seen I think we did watch a couple videos. Can I pull that up real fast? I don't want to see that. Joseph, you got jealous of what? Of that? Of her? LOL Snap, like I had her too. Well, we ain't all like you, man. Let's see. Josiah, there we go, Josiah. Me and Josiah thirsty.
And other recent. Well, first bottle holder on this Belroy. No.
All right, that might be too many bags. LOL Snap. I don't know. We're not gonna rate anybody. We're just saying that we're thirsty over here, respectfully. Josiah says, I'm jealous. So we're looking at Joseph Chin's bag collection. That is a lot of bags. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, possibly 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, something like that. That might be too many bags. Jason Whitfield says, in 10 years, these kids are going to be teaching surfing or skateboarding because they'll be so burned out. They're doing shadow drills on the beach while tourists avoid them. Well, they might be, I don't know. The Mendez brothers have done a good job. Well, We don't see the kids that burn out. We just see the 1% of kids that become like Cole Abate and Tynan. We don't see the other people that burned out. We don't see the Jessica Khan that's burned out. We don't see the what's the kid? Janata Alvarez or whatever that burned out. We don't see the other people that burned out. We just see the 1% of people that stick with it. LOL Snap got higher standards than us, but you know, she is attractive, respectfully. Joseph, that's a lot of bags. All right. So if Josiah is saying you got issues collecting too many bags, I'm gonna believe that. Cole Abate, whatever depending on if he wants to be American or Brazilian, he is good. And he's one of the best coaches you could have. LO Snap says, I have a bunch of OU wrestling bags. I still haven't been open. If anybody wants one, I need to get rid of. Yeah, give me some. Send it to me. Send it to Josiah. Nah, man. She good. LO Snap says, that's the reason why I don't train my daughter. I stay away from it. If she wants to do it, she can do it. I don't want to push her too hard. We got Helen over here. You know, she 2015 to 2025. She been doing it. I'm trying to get these tabs out the way. Some of you guys like Miss A-Rod. Some of you guys like her.
Por isso, né? Mas quando eu fui convidada, eu falei, nossa, que é isso? Que tá acontecendo? E aí explicaram, né, a magnitude do evento, e eu fiquei muito feliz, porque eu nasci no Rio de Janeiro, em 1998. Eu morei aqui até os meus 15 para 16 anos, acabei tendo que seguir aí minha carreira, acabei saindo daqui, mas onde eu nasci, é a minha casa, então eu fiquei muito feliz, e sabendo de todo o propósito desse trabalho, me deixa mais feliz ainda de estar ali representando as mulheres, né? E eu espero que cada vez... nas próximas edições, mais mulheres sejam homenageadas também. Eu batalhei pelo meu título mundial, eu tive que conquistá-lo treinando isso, fazendo tudo que estava ao meu alcance. E esse prêmio, ele não é fruto de uma coisa específica que eu fiz, ele é fruto de várias pequenas coisas que eu fiz e eu conquistei. E aí sim, por isso eu estou aqui hoje. Então,
LOL Snap Crazy said shoulder boulders, boulder shoulders. LO Snap Crazy. We're knocking some tabs out the way. We only got about 13 minutes or so. Here's Craig again. Mr. Craig, he's been having a good time. This is how LO Snap be out there. Where the heck is that? Where the heck is that? Where the heck is that? I don't know. I might be good. Jason said, let me go ahead and pull that. This is a family show. Let me get that off of there. Let me get that off of there. Oh, you guys supposed to remind me that this is a family show. You guys got to remind me that this is a family show. Come on, people. You know I forgot. That's Thailand. Oh, we might have to do a meetup in Thailand. LO Snap says, I will message you on Instagram and get your address, and I'll send all the bags to you. You know what? I might have it sent to the gym and get it there. Jason Whitfield says, wow, what did her parents eat? Who, A-Rod? I don't know. I don't think that was her parents doing. LO Snap said, that's Thailand. Said, this is a family show. Yeah, this is a family show. I forgot for a second. LO Snaps $100 you can get. Let me not say what he's saying. Kokorian says, great news, guys. Derek and I have set aside our differences and have decided to give him his first stripe on his black belt. Is that real? Is that real, or is that can't be real? Is that real? That's got to be Big Dan. Did Big Dan give him a real stripe? In record time, I might add. Stripes usually take 3 years, but when you encounter an intellectual outlier like him, you're forced to make an exception. Kokorian also says, in unrelated news, I'm in the market for a new car, something in the $300,000 range, if anyone has any leads. Bro, that's crazy, bro. Congrats to Moneyberg. Sponsor me. I'm selling stripes for belts. And belts, no time on the mat or experience. Get your black belt in 5 easy installments. Is that real? Did he really get a stripe on his? Is that Big Dan? Big Dan, are you selling out too? Well, Big Dan definitely sold out already. He says, what the heck? He's a higher rank than me now. Jason says, that's AI. I've seen that pic. Are you sure? That looked pretty accurate. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, that's the... I was like, man, how did he get his stripe already? He's supposed to get that next week. He's on schedule to get that next week, everybody. The rules don't apply to Moneyberg. He got too much money. That was good. That was good. That was good AI. That was good AI, man. AI did good. I thought that was Photoshop for a second. Is that Kevon over there?
I don't think so.
Good to see you, Nolan.
Come on.
Let me get the double
No.
Come on. See you later, man. See you, bro. Set my point. Yo, have a good one.
Why?
I don't think.
Did you see that picture I just saw? What was that? It was Moneyberg versus the 10th Planet.
This guy was mean to my friend, so I'm going to ruin his day with math.
For those of you guys who don't know, I'm a first-degree black belt, as well as a middle school math teacher. Our subject today claims to have trained for 3.5 years, 3,000 hours of one-on-one training, best training team in history, 0 days missed. But how much is that really?
1 year has 365.25 days. 365.25 times 3.5 years gives us 1,278 days. 1,278 days times 24 hours gives us 30,672 hours. Divide 3,000 hours of training by 30,672 and you get 0.097, meaning he spent 9.7% of his time training.
Now, is that a lot? Maybe, if you're trying to learn how to knit. But for jiu-jitsu?
If you train 3 hours a day for 5 days a week, that's 15 hours a week, 65 hours in a month, 780 months in a year. After 3.5 years, you get 2,730 hours. Sorry, blue belts, you ain't gonna cut it.
Unless you go to open mat.
If we add 1 open mat a week, which is 2 hours, that gives us 17 hours in a week, 74 hours in a month, 888 hours in a year, and 3,108 hours in 3.5 years.
Looks like all you purple belts were right. You should be a black belt by now.
But he claims to only train with the best of the best. And as you can see, if 1 hour with those guys is 1.2 hours, that 3,000 hours actually accounts for 3,600 hours. But even if you give 3 times multiplier, that's still only 9,000 hours.
Do I actually care if this guy gets a black belt? No. He knows it's fake, I know it's fake, and you know it's fake. He's not going to get respect from the community. What I do care about are these 4 ding-dongs selling out the sport and the art that I love so much just to try and lock down a bag. You should all be ashamed of yourselves. And as for you, I'm sure you hate this video and you want me to take it down. And I will, if and only if you donate $100,000 to the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank. But if you donate $1 million, I will not only put a new video up praising your immaculate technique and Adonis-like figure, but I will personally sign off on your black belt.
This guy was mean to my friend, so I'm going to ruin his day with math.
Hello, Snap, yeah. That's kind of a Gen Z thing with the high-pitched voice and sped up. Not really my thing. Let's see. We got Nia. What's going on, Nia? Let me see.
Down. Qualify me.
Damn!
Let's vim, okay? Let's vim. I think with this
Oh.
round, you're gonna punch and you're gonna come with your underhook through. Yeah. Okay.
If you guys don't know Nia, she's out of UK. She trains with
And
Fionn,
snap. Yeah.
some of the other
Now,
girls.
shoot my arm under, and then I'm gonna reach and run. Underhook here, go. Now run.
Hey, good.
I said, damn, bitch. And now you wanna run into this space, so you're gonna land inside the drill. Yeah! I wanted you to say that.
That's good.
2,000 years later.
Collar tie, punch, under, snap, here, run.
Hey.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
How did that go, Mum? Please, the arm and shoulder. I'm sorry. Anything to say?
Like, I hate
I'm
this.
here with Mama Blackman.
That's cool, man. I'm happy you got the sisters with the... Now the chick in the shorts. You know, LL Snap got type. He got a specific type that he liked to deal with. Helen, is that you? take her serious with that high pitched UK voice. Oh, that's the voice they got. I can't do nothing with that. Happy birthday, Helen. Huge fans of yours. We're all huge fans. Some more Greco. Hey, man, Greco. Greco should be more popular, you know. It should be more popular. I'm trying to knock these out in 4 minutes. Some more Greco. I don't want to hear about Greco not being good, man. Let me adjust this audio. Greco, I love Greco. I wish it was more popular here. Some more Greco. Oh. 4-point throw. Cuba? Cuba, no! What's going on with Cuba? Let's see what else we got. A couple more stories. Lee Kemp, you guys know Lee Kemp? First American wrestler to win multiple world titles. And he used to visualize to become a 3-time NCAA and world champion.
Part of my wrestling life was a big part of it because I always envisioned myself as being the champion. I literally would make an award stand in my room. I did this in college too, and in my apartment. And I'd stand on that award stand, and believe it or not, it's just the role playing of that. You feel different. You know, it's almost like walking on the end of a diving board, a high dive. If you've never been that high and you walked into that diving board, it changes your body chemistry, changes your mind. You really, unless you've been up there before. I wanted to make sure I had been up there before. And so I was able to be up there all the time in my mind. The cerebral part of my wrestling life was a big part of it because I always envisioned myself as being the champion. I literally would make an award stand in my room. I did this in college too, and in my apartment. And I'd stand on that award stand, and believe it or not, it's just the role playing of that. You feel different. You know, it's almost like walking on the end of a diving board, a high dive. If you've never been that high and you walked into that diving board, it changes your body chemistry, changes your mind. You really, unless you've been up there before. I wanted to make sure I had been up there before. And so I was able to be up there all the time in my mind. The cerebral part of my wrestling life was a big part of it because I always envisioned myself as being the champion. I literally would make an award stand in my room. I did this in college too.
Shout out to Lee Kemp, you know, big fan of his. We did have a couple stories. Jesus Christ. Let me get 2 out the way. You know, I might save some for tomorrow. We'll try to get through these quick because I gotta dip a little bit, get some lunch and stuff. Jason Whitfield says, crazy he mentioned the role playing. We did role playing on Claudia's old No regrets. Jason Whitfield, he how much money you spending over there, man? You better send some screenshots or something, man. It says, will UFC BJJ last? 14 events scheduled for 2026. I think that's a lot. I don't know if they got the talent pool. They might have signed some more people though. It says, do you think the business model of UFC BJJ will last? They don't have a deep roster of talent and not sure if they'll get it because of the exclusive contracts. Like, I can't see the best grapplers in the world not doing ADCC, CJI, Zapatero, and these other brand tournaments they pay. But with 14 events across the country, may attract the athletes that like consistency. Where do you see this in 5 years? LL Snap says he's a legend. So there's little competition in free, easily accessible, frequent BJJ. It doesn't cost the UFC anything. Considering the vast majority of people couldn't name the top 10 in any IBJJF division, I don't think having the cream of the crop matters. Put on fun shows and make them easy to watch, and you're winning. Says hopefully not. If there's any surefire way to make sure athletes stay being paid pennies, it's for the UFC to gain a massive stake in the pie. Says the athletes can just not sign to the UFC if it's that bad. Well, the athletes aren't smart. What about Gabby? Which Gabby? Oh, Garcia. Oh, he on there too, man. Says athletes in UFC BJJ have been getting paid far above the average. We don't know how much they're getting paid. They can't tell us. How much are they getting paid? They can't tell us. About the default CGI payout. Above its default CGI payout. So over $10,000. Are you sure? That doesn't make any sense. It says your opinion is invalid. Sure, because right now they have to. It's just part of the game they played in MMA. Get as many high-tier athletes on exclusive contracts, even if they are relatively expensive. Yeah, well, you know, the Joe Schmo athletes they're going to get later on, they're not going to be getting that much money. They're not going to get what Tackett or Mikey gets or Carlos Enrique. You know, they're not going to pay the people that much. Says then when other organizations fold due to inability to sustain themselves with no names and lesser known fighters, they get to be the brand for the sport and stranglehold pay for their liking. When there is competition, the service and or product is of higher quality, but when the competition is bought out or priced out, then it drops. We saw that with UFC. It says probably if the Tackets are doing it and they have God on their side, it's going to be a success. It says UFC BJJ 3 card looks good. Hope it lasts. If people who are in it get paid regularly, then other people will join. Despite the fake news about exclusivity, what do you mean fake news? Once they learn it's fake, they'll also join. People can either enter competitions with potential winnings or enter organizations with ongoing pay checks. LL Snap says they are not getting paid above $10,000. That's some BS. They don't sell $20,000 worth of tickets. Well, they don't sell tickets to the Performance Institute. In fact, you have to be, a UFC fighter or somebody attached to a UFC fighter to even get to the venue. Now, I'm not sure what the Fight Pass cut is or what that is. I'm not sure. Isn't Fionn signed with UFC BJJ, but not UFC? It's impossible to say because we don't know what their budget is or what their goal is. If they're trying to make money on each event they have, then they'll likely fold soon. If they are trying to grow the sport and they make money off of it in 5 years, it might work. They have deep pockets, and they got deep pockets, and they do things in a way that saves money. They own the venue, so their overhead is likely very low, and BJJ fighters are cheaper than MMA fighters. That's not helping our case. It will depend on how smart the people running things are and what their plans are. They are making some good moves that I think people aren't considering. The UFC is going after a number of fighters that don't get booked regularly on pro grappling shows. Andy Murasaki, Daniel Sadler, Jalen Financier. Well, he just got his black belt. Mason Fowler, Kennedy Maciel. Some of that stuff I think is just bad matchups because I don't think Claudia has the reach that the UFC thinks she has. They are really good, exciting fighters, but they aren't getting booked much. UFC BJJ can likely get them for a good price, and for them it's a good deal because they'll get guaranteed fights and money exposure. If I were the UFC, I'd go after Mayram. Why would Mayram go for UFC? He can make more money doing everything else. Ron, Landon, and Jet Thompson next. Well, they're gonna get Jet Thompson because he won the PGF. They can just skip the current generation, wait, and then have a great lineup in the future when the current top people age out. I have my doubts that the current management is smart enough, Claudia, to do this, and they may not have the eye for talent needed to pick up top competitors when they are still cheap. If they are smart enough to focus on good matchups instead of just names, they'll be successful. They'll need to build their divisions from scratch, though. They're not going to invest that much. It said the UFC tried to buy CJI, but they weren't going to offer anything. The UFC don't want to pay no money. How much do you think it would cost to buy CJI? If they spent, say they spent $3 million. Did they spend $3 million? The prize pool is $1 million. I don't know how much they spent. Yeah, $3 million. What's the multiplier on $3 million? At least $9 million. Possibly, maybe more. $12 million to buy CJI? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Craig Jones would sell his name off for $12 million. Maybe he would. LOL Snap says, I can walk right into the Performance Institute right now. I have a card they give you, and all you have to do is scan it at the door. Dang, bro. You got access to everything. Josiah says, the chosen one, Landon Elmore in the UFC BJJ. Interesting. LOL Snap says, she has the only fan. Who does? Who are you talking about, LOL Snap? Gabby? Who are you talking about? LOL Snap says, and she has Claudia. Yeah, Claudia. Now, LOL Snap, we know you would try to get in there. Have you been up in there too? Did Claudia get her claws into you? LOL Snapped. Says they will probably last. Then in a few years, athletes will be upset. It's one of the only shows in town. I'm happy that the UFC is investing in grappling, but I think they won't have enough matches to sustain a professional roster full of the best grapplers. Says unless all the competitors are getting a salary similar to Mikey, they won't. All the people will say they want to fight the best, but there's not enough matches to get them enough money to not need to compete elsewhere, and the best fighters won't sign exclusive contracts with the UFC. That's true. Why would you sign an exclusive contract? Because then CGI will offer $3 million the next time, and you like, dang, I'm stuck here. LOL Snap is going to join the OnlyFans too. But Donnie's new gym, we gotta close up in a little bit. 3 hours. Who else doing 3 hours? Who else can do 3 hours on the daily? Let me know. Who else doing 3 hours? CGI is at least worth $20 million. Because UFC will make that money back. Belaya's back. Belaya, why'd you go? Belaya heard us talking about Claudia. He had to jump back on the chat. Belaya, he heard us talking about Claudia. He had to come back to the chat room. I mean, UFC would make $20 million easily with CJI, right? And you know what? They'll do it at the Performance Institute in the bowl. They'll just buy the name. Actually, they probably will kill it. You think they would pay $20 million? $20 million would be pretty nice. I think Craig would sell out for $20 million. Belaya says $200 million for CJI. For CGI, Belaya? What you talking about? What you talking about, Belaya? 200 milli? Who getting 200 milli? You think CGI is worth 200 milli? Oh, Belaya got some insider information. Who got who and what and when and where and how? Let me know, Belaya. Claudia. How much does she have? Claudio. Claudia or Claudio? Just play. Okay. Woo. 20 million. Yeah, I think Craig would sell out for 20 million. I would tell him to sell out. Sell out, Craig. Go ahead and take 20 million. LL Staff says, no, I did not get her, but I did get. Oh, no. You got in there too? No. How'd you get in there? No. How'd you get in there? We all wanted to be in there. All right, I'm really jealous now. Put a one in the chat if you're really jealous now. Put a one in the chat if you're jealous. No, you got up in there. How? You would have broken that girl. There's no way you got in there. No, Jason Whitfield. No, LOL Snap, you got up in there too. How'd you get in there? You gotta tell us some details on that one, man. How'd you get up in there? Jason, how'd you get up in there, man? That ain't fair. Oh man, I'm definitely done. Josiah. Josiah, go ahead and be jealous with me over here too, man. What the heck? What the heck going on over there? How did he get up in there? Oh man. He's like, the thing is, LOL Snap be like, I just told her. he be super direct, but that don't work for everybody. That don't work for everybody. How did he get up in there? How did that work out? God dang. That ain't fair, man. Life ain't fair. Life ain't fair. I ain't saying LOL Snap didn't work hard. I know he worked hard. You know, he had to swim all the way over from Cuba, man. But life ain't fair. Life ain't fair. Oh man, life ain't fair one bit. That is. This is a family show. It's a family channel. This is a family show. Oh God. I'm jealous. I'll admit it. I am jealous. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Everybody in the live stream's jealous. We all jealous. How we all jealous? We all jealous. Mushmaster, you jealous too? Oh man, how do you do that? How do you do that? Oh God. Oh, that was a good laugh. I need a good laugh. That was, that's my jealous laugh. Moving on. Definitely type something in the chat, but it says John Carlo's new gym. Anyone know where John Carlo's new gym will be? Balea, you know where the gym gonna be? And Balea had to jump out the chat to confirm. Balea got his sources. It says no idea, but this guy is such an underrated instructor, obsessed with all his old gi content. Oh yeah, he did used to do the gi. Bodoni seems like a nice chill guy. He is very good, but doesn't seem to get brought up as much as other greats. Despite winning ADCC twice, he's a good teacher, and I love his school. I hope his school is a success. Did somebody send a heart over there? Who sent that heart over there? Who sent a heart over there? It says he stays out of drama, doesn't talk that stuff. He was in the shadow of Gordon and Mergali. A little inconsistent outside of ADCC. He's not putting together the best or the most dominating streaks that make people notice. Somebody says it's because of his cycles. He tends to go full Galval for ADCC. But Giancarlo might not be here for a long time, but he's here for a good time. Some people live in a different life than us, man. That's what I learned today. Some of us, we ain't really living. We think we living. We ain't really doing nothing over here. Uh-oh. Well, I'm not going to read what they're saying over here. Giancarlo, well, I guess there's no secret over there. Says, when it's time for ADCC, Giancarlo tends to get huge and have much better performances. He is still technically super solid. He is a bit like Kynan, where you see a different guy when it matters. So that leads me to believe that, their confidence, their confidence is different. They can change, they can manipulate their confidence levels. I can't do that. Whatever confidence I got is what I got. Yo, Jason Whitfield. Jason Whitfield. You know what? We're gonna look her up real fast and see what Mr. LOL Snap got. LOL Snap, I don't know if your wife approves of all this talk. Says, I had no idea he had gi instructional. Come on, you had no idea he had gi instructionals? Says it'll be around Georgetown area in Texas. Where's Georgetown? Round Rock. Where's that at in Texas? Is that close to New Wave or Kingsway? Says I don't know, Austin. Is it far enough away from Kingsway that they won't be in competition? Says it's significantly north of Kingsway. Georgetown is, for instance, 45 minutes north of Austin. Kingsway is at the edges of northwest Austin. It's actually in Round Rock. Is Giancarlo going to be able to train? I mean, Gordon can barely train or doesn't train. Is Giancarlo going to be able to train with the new school? Josiah, everybody. Jason says Georgetown is about 45 minutes north of Austin. Isn't he a Lucas Lepre black belt? Yeah, but the way Giancarlo talks, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know he's a Lucas Lepre black belt. The way Danaher be, you think Danaher created Giancarlo? Well, he maybe did. Chemically, he chemically created the athlete that you know as Giancarlo. So I guess it's far enough away from Kingsway. Says I need to retire and convince my wife we should move to Austin. You don't want to do that. Says it's hot and expensive there. Says I took a quick look at home prices in Round Rock. Maybe you get less land, but they don't seem that much different from here in is that Iowa, Des Moines? Says Austin within city limits is expensive. The further you move out, the cheaper it gets, obviously. All right, so that's cool. Hopefully Giancarlo does well. Jason says, I don't know how that's going to work because Big Dan has an academy in Georgetown as well. Is that close to Round Rock, Georgetown? Oh. Listen, these guys cannibalizing each other. They cannibalizing each other left and right. What is that? I don't see that post coming. We already talked about Krikorian. I'll read that a little bit, but we're in bonus time. I had 316. I was waiting for LOL Snap. LOL Snap had to jump off of here. He said too much. LOL Snap said he said too much. He had to jump out the chat room. His wife pulled him out, pulled him off the chat. Guys, say a prayer for LOL Snap. His wife got him. His wife got his cube himself. Jason says Georgetown is adjacent to Round Rock. They have a border, but they're close. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know about that. That don't sound like the best move. All right, I think that's it, man. I don't want to talk no more. I do want to watch Pavel, but we'll do that maybe tomorrow. I did knock out a lot of my tabs. Good work to me. Pat myself on the back. We'll join us tomorrow. We're gonna find out the rest of that story from LOL Snap once his wife is no longer upset at him. But man, wasn't that a big surprise? We did talk about UFC BJJ. They're gonna do a lot more shows next year. We'll see if that's gonna even work out. We talked about Krikorian. He's been calling out Moneyberg and stuff like that. Bonus time plus 3 hours. Yeah, I gotta get out of here. Bonus time. We did too much bonus time today. If you guys want to support the channel, please let other people know about the live stream. Easy. Hey, go check out this live stream. Easy. They don't cost you no money. Don't cost you no time. And we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Right now, we're at 948. There you go, 948. You guys can see it. We're trying to get to 1,000. Come on, people. Who else live streaming for 3 hours about jiu-jitsu? Who else can talk about jiu-jitsu for 3 hours? Now, I guess if you got Tism, you can do it, but I don't know what I got. What I have. All right, everybody, that's it, man. If I missed something, we'll get to it tomorrow, God willing. Today's Tuesday, Handsome Tuesday. I forgot about Handsome Tuesday. Happy Handsome Tuesday, everybody. Good work. You made it through the live stream. I ain't gonna hold you back no more. Like I said, the live stream be going quick. 3 hours gone. And that's it. We should be back on tomorrow for Wednesday, White Belt Wednesday. But today's Handsome Tuesday. Be handsome. That's all you gotta do on Tuesday. Be handsome. Jason Whitfield says, please, LOL Snap isn't letting any... Yeah, well, he said his wife can tell him what to do, though. She better check her spine if she wants to keep it in one piece. Nah, she got all the money. He got to listen to her. And he said, I subscribed 3 times, thanks. But we need other people subscribing. That's it, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow, God willing. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Be healthy. Stay out of trouble. Don't do whatever LOL Snap is doing. Actually, whatever he's doing is working because he's been successful. He's been way more successful than me. All right, let me get off here, man. All right, everybody. See ya.